remarks because I know that 2021 and the last of 2020 was a challenging year. And if you would like to share with us a success stories, I'd like to give you the opportunity to do that.
I don't know that we've ever actually met.
Ken Ruffin.
My name is Anne Marie Bryan, and it's nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
As the mayor said, 2021 was a rough year. It took away our annual fundraiser, but we adjusted as best as we could and managed to have a really successful year last year. Our one event that we did get to have was that we brought the state plein air artist in. And so we had an outdoor event that was an arts and culture thing. It brought people in from neighboring communities. We still weren't out and available to have people come and stay in the Airbnbs like we would have liked to, and promoted tourism the way we would normally do. But all in all, with the grants we've applied for, this year is going to be one of our largest years. In your packet, you have our budget. And you'll notice our budget for this year was $93,000, but that is going to drastically change at the next board meeting because we will add a lot of information to it. In the last 8 weeks, we have secured over $50,000 in grant funding that is earmarked, but that does not require a match. So that'll be an additional $50,000 in our budget. And we hope by mid-August to add another $47,000, which will put us just over $100,000 in earmarked, unmatched grant funding. So those are some of our biggest successes over the year. We were relieved to finally be able to start our second Saturday events and work with artists across the county to facilitate the Smart Moves in Monroe County mural trail. And we have been facilitating the part that is in the city of Monroeville and in Monroeville, and the chamber has been facilitating the rest. As you know, with that grant, we lost our leader in the community, and the extension office lost its leadership temporarily. So the chamber and Main Street stepped up. This was a Main Street project to be in downtown, and we were able to get this grant to cover it and then push it out throughout the county.
Well, I tell you, your efforts have been noted. I've had people tell me that, because nobody gave up during the pandemic, they're telling me they feel like we're coming back. And that's very positive for the community and for the city. So thank you very much for that overview. And we can go through and talk about our budget now.
All right. In the past, as it states in your letter, the city of Monroeville, because you all are our only funding, we do not get any county funding, has represented between 30 to 50% of our budget. And in the past, what we get allocated from the city of Monroeville has always covered my salary. And my salary changed last year. I spent 5 years at the same rate, which was $15 an hour. And last year, when I was offered a position elsewhere, my board realized that it was time to make an adjustment. My salary changed to $42,000, just a smidge over that. I am not asking you to cover just my salary. We do a pretty good job of our fundraising, as you can tell by our grant applications and our membership drives. But I am asking the city to consider two things. Our current funding, you'll notice up here, it says 35, it says 37. We had an extra 2,000 that was earmarked for projects. So you'll notice in our request this year, we are requesting 42 with the option of an extra 6,000 for 2 projects. Specifically, our entrepreneur projects, which I'll tell you just a little bit about, and then the Monroe Council for the Arts. The entrepreneur projects, we've already received $9,000 in grant funding for this. We are the pilot program, and we are writing it with the SBDC, which is Yolanda Johnson and Main Street, Alabama. We are the only program in the state. Both of our pilots, we are the single program representing the pilot. It is called BUI. It is Business Understanding and Ownership for Youth. Our general goal is to foster responsible business ownership. This will be a free program offered to students or citizens between the age of 15 or 10th grade up to around 30. Our goal with this is that we have had a number of business owners over the years that have this romantic idea of, yay, let's start a business, and they have no real direction and they really don't know what they're getting involved in. What we would like is very much to encourage some of our local welders or plumbers or cabinet makers or artists, cottage food vendors, to go through this process for free and understand what it takes to own and run a business responsibly. And then we'll have a pitch competition at the end, which we are hoping will culminate in the city council announcing the winner of the pitch competition. We cannot tell you what the prizes are because, as anybody who owns a business knows, a welder may need a generator, and that might be what they pitch for the prize money to go to. And a cottage food baker may need an oven, and a retail business may need help setting up their point of sale system. So we're going to limit it to 20 people this year, just to get our feet under. We have the support of Main Street, Alabama. They're our third partner. We also have the backing of Coastal Alabama Community College and KWET, and a couple of other partners that are going to help us facilitate these public meetings. It's going to be in the evening, everything to the students. The second piece that goes with the entrepreneur program is the small box shop. It is a shipping container that we will be able to give out and let someone use to have the experience of what it's like to actually maintain a location without having to go out and sign a lease. Again, I go back to people have a romantic idea of, oh, I'd love to own my own business. My favorite is the one that walks in my office and wants a bakery and they have a 6-month-old on their hip. And I'm like, well, who's going to keep your child at 4 in the morning when you're at the bakery? Or the one who wants to be open. Oh, I think I'll be at opens from 11 to 4:30. And I'm like, wonderful. You're going to cater to the unemployed. What are you going to sell? So the whole point is that fostering of responsible business ownership and actually being able to understand it. The other major project that we are undertaking is the Monroe Council for the Arts. And this will eventually be a countywide arts council, but we are Alabama's literary capital, and we do not have an arts council. We have musicians and actors and writers and artists, which the trail tells you. We have all of those are local artists, and they're not connected. We also do not have art in our public school system. And any study will tell you that children who are exposed to the arts and to music, it accelerates their test scores. And if we can't get it in the school system, what we'd like to do is allow the Arts Council to fill that gap. And with this whole idea, I have connected with the Arts Literacy Consortium, and they are using federal grant funds to the tune of $16,000 to start facilitating public meetings. The first one will be with my board of directors. The second one will be with education. Those will be Zoom. Those are both scheduled for this month. Then we will open up to the general public and to the artists to find out what everybody needs from the program and what the expectations are. If we want to be a tourism community, we have to have more programming to get people to stay more than one night. And it has to be programming that is adjusted. So those are the two big projects that we're asking for additional funding for this year. And we are doing a couple of new things. We are doing a farm to table fundraiser because we can have a fundraiser again. We're excited about that. And the other major thing that we're doing this year is that we are enacting an advisory board. We have taken submissions from our board of directors, and we have come up with 36 names from diverse backgrounds, anything from a 18-year-old artist to a retired food truck owner. It is varied and spread, and we will ask them to come and meet quarterly and help guide us on our future programming at Monroeville. So those are our big projects we have coming up. And I will be happy to answer any questions.
I noticed when I was looking at one of your financials, it talked about you received some COVID funding.
We did receive COVID.
Is that one time or?
It was a one-time grant we applied for, and we use those funds normally in the Main Street District. Our Christmas promotions are something that our members pay for or that we do for our members. We did them district-wide. There was no charge. In addition, we bought 75 flags for our members to loan out, to borrow from us. 25 of them are special event flags, 25 are sale flags, and 25 are extended hour flags. And then we also bought Purell dispensers, well, tabletop ones, and have distributed those throughout any of our members in the district. We had a COVID relief event and just over the course passed out a lot of free information and masks and gloves and things like that. I would like to add one thing. One of these grants that we are receiving will not announce until the 28th of this month. And it is $22,000 in unmatched funding. But with that, we are going to be able to purchase additional benches downtown, which was something that we were looking at adding to the city budget this year. So that will come out. And then also trash cans, and by replacing some of the trash cans in the historic district with the prescribed historic district trash cans, we can move some of these other trash cans out of the district, and it will also add 6 wheelchair accessible tables, 3 across the Main Street district and 3 across South Monroeville or further south, and they will all be connected to downtown by sidewalks. So it is part of getting people up and getting moving and getting them better connected. Do y'all have any questions for me, or are there any expectations that you would like to put forward for what we can do in the Main Street district to assist the city in any way?
You hit the nail on the head about folks when they go in business. Most of them don't realize it's 24/7, you know?
You gotta pay insurance and workman's comp and water and lights and all these kind of things.
And you even have to
And you
pay
can't-
all that before you get it.
That's right. You don't just write your
That's
check
the
for what
problem.
it, yeah.
You
Right.
write everybody else's check.
Your
Well,
wages.
Don't
I
miss
don't know if
that.
any of you have ever worked with Yolanda Johnson, but I have never seen a fear the IRS statement better than she gives. She absolutely, if you come and listen to her, will put the fear of God in you, that those tax dollars are not yours. They are never yours. You are a pass-through. You can't tell the IRS, I'm sorry, I couldn't afford to pay that, because you took it from somebody and it's theirs. She does a beautiful job. one of my favorite things about this Dewey program that we have written is that the second meeting is called the bail team, is one of the groups. And it's the banker, the accountant, the insurance agent, and the legal counsel. The 4 people that can get you out of trouble in business that you need to know before you walk in. And one of our goals with this Bowie program is that this will be a peer group of business owners. And if they can own their own businesses and work in Monroeville and live in Monroeville, then we can keep them here. And we are losing youth at a record rate. And so if we can get them employed and get them responsible from day one, then we have a fighting chance of keeping some of our youth here.
Thank you for what you do. I think y'all probably done more in helping create jobs and promoting businesses than anybody has. So even though others are involved in this, but y'all are actively doing that.
Well, I will say one thing, and I say this to anybody who will listen. Main Street is a prime example of what happens when a city invests in itself. I didn't go out and recruit every business in downtown. The city invested, people perked up and said, there's something going on, it's fixing up. They're doing nice things. Things are going on downtown. Buildings are starting to sell. And it's just the momentum, and it was the city investing in the heart of the community. And it spread. And we have communities. I had 9 people from Monroeville come to walk our Main Street district just last week. And I've got the Southern District coming in July with the Main Street, the statewide Main Street director. They want to know what's going on. We opened 6 businesses in downtown Monroeville during COVID. Birmingham, left and right, they're losing businesses. It was the rural communities who stepped up and said, oh, well, if we're going to have to do business here, we need more business. Right? It's the city investing in itself that makes the big difference.
I have noticed, especially with COVID, that we had a lot more shop local. Is there anything out there indicating that since things are opening back up, that may change? Or can we hold out on?
Well, a lot of it's habit. We get in the habit of, I bought something from the city. And I lived in Montgomery and Birmingham and DC, so I understand the city. People had to go out and shop local and realize the things they were going to the city to buy, different shops already had, and it was a better price. They didn't have to go to Mobile or Birmingham or Montgomery or Atlanta to purchase. So I think the community has become more self-aware, but there are no numbers. Whoever handles the tax numbers, those were phone calls I could make to the city clerk and say, tax-wise, how are we faring? And she could give me, oh, we're a yay. We're doing better tax-wise right now. And so those will be questions when we have a new city clerk that I'll continue to call. Tax-wise, where are we? And that's going to be our best bet.
Well, what people, and I used to preach it all the time, they don't realize if you go to Mobile, Pensacola, or Montgomery, well, you got to buy gas. Now that's an issue. You're going to eat out for ever how many people you go. So really the difference in price,
If there is a difference.
if there's a difference, it may be a wash, so I don't know.
And I'm not thinking everybody's just going to start staying in town.
Yeah.
People are excited about being able to
They're
leave.
gonna go.
And there's a lot of wants of people, and then you turn around and there's not enough demand for it too. I mean, a lot of people say, I want another clothing store, I want another shoe outlet, or I want, another grocery store, some of these things, this gotta, there's a lot to make them happy, and then the people's got to, after they make the events, they gotta support
I only go to shoe station, they got 10,000 pairs. How many you gonna wear at a time?
Yeah, 10,000 shoes in that store.
I don't know, the one at Eastern Show was pretty close. Some of the others on this group, that's a monster.
Amanda, you have what you need?
Yes.
Okay.
And in case y'all don't know, because I was so rude that I introduced, this is Alicia Lana. She is currently the vice president of the board of directors for Monroeville Main Street. I usually have the vice president come in because they are in charge of fundraising for this year. And then, of course, everybody knows Joel Cunningham. He is currently the secretary of our board. We run a succession. This is his first year as an officer. He is a city appointment to our board, but his appointment will hold for 5 years. He will go through the entire process, which Alicia has been halfway through. And we just like the board to come out and have an idea of what I'm doing and tell me what I'm doing wrong. So y'all feel free to stop by my office and call if you have any questions. I sent everybody this sheet to their home, so y'all have it full paper in advance. But anytime you want to come by the Main Street office, everybody will tell you I'm super transparent. I will pull my book of bank statements out and put it out. You can look at every check we've written.
Well, I must say this, if you go by there, if you're not strong, she has a big bowl of temptation. Yeah, I always end up dipping into it. So.
There's almost always chocolate in my office, and I keep it on far side, so I don't drink. And I will see y'all again at 5 for Downtown Redevelopment Authority. Okay, and I'm gonna, do you want me to leave that paperwork here with you? That's the Downtown Redevelopment Authority, and I'll be back.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your time and what y'all do for the city.
Reverend, keep them under control.
We're doing our best. Y'all have a
See
blessed
y'all at
afternoon.
Thank you. Well,
Okay, yeah.
I got
Big shindig tonight.
and I'm way behind.
Oh, Lord.
You doing tomorrow too? Who's doing that?
Club.
I'm gonna have a hard time getting all them folks
I'm
out.
not going there.
That's on them, not you.
Which is nice, pretty good crowd.
Where they doing it, the shop?
Man, how many more people are we supposed to see today?
It's this list that starts at 1. And we gotta take a break at 3:30 to do our special meeting, and then we'll start back up. No one called me and said they wasn't coming, so I am not sure.
They run past 5. Y'all will have to handle it.
yeah, he's walking in the door.
I'm quite sure I'm not gonna be back. And I'm gonna probably leave real quick here. It don't look like the time schedule. That's why I already told you. I said Thursday, I'm fine, Friday, not. If something happens, I can, I'll come, but I doubt. Too much in too short a period of time. Oh,
Hello, you doing the thing?
Ready for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Where y'all moving?
do it. Wherever you like. Those two chairs on that end probably be fine.
Oh, y'all gonna put some, okay.
Yeah, put your head at the table.
How is everybody?
Pretty good about yourself.
Good. The insurance and bonds on here, what is that for? That's for your bond that you have every year. Don't you have a bond?
What number is it?
Look like it.
You have a bond on it, in case you decided to fill our money.
You gotta be bonded like, yeah, like she does.
I'm not gonna steal your money. I'm not going to jail. I got $8 grand. I love
60 events.
No,
Supposed to be
60
court.
60 court. It's right before the gas tax. 60/30, but it's Fund 30. It's Fund 30.
Okay.
It should be toward the end. I swear, you pay your bond. We did ours with good home. Didn't you order good home in the bond? No, I didn't, my own.
So somewhere along the line, you probably signed something.
Somebody signed the phone.
Yeah.
Ask good old one to see if your name is on the bonds.
Says Fund 30.
All right, well, like we're just a few minutes ahead of schedule, but that's good. Welcome to our budget hearing and review. I've been asking everyone if you have a brief success story, we'd like to hear it. And before we get into it, and because I know 2021 has been a challenging year for everybody.
In the last 12 months, y'all have not come here with a problem.
Well, that is a success.
That is a very much success. Because in previous years, that was not the case.
I think that our clerk is, Ms. Bowen, who's the one who makes it happen in the office with the collections and everything, and to have weathered the storm through COVID the way we have, credit to her office and what they've done. They've never, even in light of the economic effects on the most of the population, they have been able to work with people and continue to keep them paying on their fines. And throughout all that, I think we've weathered the storm financially fairly well for the most part. And again, I think one thing that we have accomplished over the last, I guess, 4.5 years is that I really don't think anybody can say that they've ever come into our court and left saying that they were treated unfairly. We give everybody the opportunity, give them as much time as they need to pay on fines. Nobody's ever been just hammered on cases to the point where they are put in a bind where they can't dig out from it. We have people who owe us a good bit, and I think they understand that until they step up and do some community service, that they're going to be paying on that for a long time. But for the most part, they do it, and so they just they keep paying on it. But I don't think anybody can say that they've ever been treated unfairly by any member of our staff or as a result of any case that's come up in the court. And I'm not aware of any complaints or any valid complaints from anybody aside from maybe some ne'er-do-wells who probably have rap sheets that are 50 pages long. But all credit goes to Ms. Bowen here in her office. That they keep things rolling, and that's basically they run everything, and then I'll make the decisions in court. So any issues with the budget, of course, that thankfully that falls under her purview. I just kind of oversee her. She handles all the day-to-day, and I think everything looks good.
All right.
I will tell y'all, this is kind of a little funny. Whenever I worked in Bruton, this person came up to the window and he wasn't too happy with the way things were going. And he looked at me and he said, "You bitch." And I just looked at him and I said, "Well, was that with a capital B or lowercase b?" Sometimes you gotta take it and just roll with it because you're gonna be called names.
We got a protective glass that'll keep
Oh,
from coming over the
yeah,
counter
that
now.
was a good thing. That was a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. No, we'll go ahead and proceed with the budget request.
You want to just leave everything the same with the revenue?
I think so.
We're down.
Right now, because we are. I'm hoping we're gonna beat it with COVID.
And that second line there is way under for this time of the year. Is that related to that, or is our expectations greater than what?
COVID was a downturn not only in the amount and frequency of payments, but also the number of cases.
Okay.
Oddly enough, a lot of the, I think we had sort of a downturn in the total number of cases that were, I guess, if people were just staying at home.
Okay.
But I do think that as time goes on, we'll eventually be able to move out of that lull, because cases are picking up. And we've had last couple of months, we've had pretty heavy volume of cases in court. And I know from going, I will go over to Evergreen for their city court to handle their conflict case with their judge. We probably have 5 times the cases that they have in Evergreen. So I think our volume is, I would expect an uptick here.
Yeah, because I've issued like 75 warrants in the past 2 days.
And we were real lenient about, going about pursuing payments during COVID. And I think now maybe that people are back to work and things have opened up, people will be more inclined to come in. And another thing is when the jail shut down, they were unable to take anybody to hold for the city, or they wouldn't take anybody from the city. And sometimes that's a way. I mean, if somebody has outstanding warrants and they go up there and you pick them up on the warrant and they sit there for a couple hours, a family member will come up with some money, amazing, real quick sometimes.
Yeah.
But we were unable to do that for a year or a year and a half. And not that that's a frequent thing, but I mean, it does help, especially when there's somebody who owes us. We've got some that owe us $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 and have no intention of ever really. But sometimes if they commit another crime or get arrested and then they sit there for a while, then it's uncanny how the bond money just appears.
So on your revenue side, you anticipate that it might get back up to 200?
Close to it, yes, sir, I would think so.
So I know it's on here, last year it was like 216, 535. Is that a number that we're saying we're gonna shoot for? For 2022? Okay. Let's see. Insurance and bonds are 7, no, I'm sorry. There was nothing in there last year. The year before it was like $100. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on that, because I swear she has a bond. I don't know where we're taking that at, but it should be taken out of that one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna definitely look into that one.
And then we have the building maintenance and supplies. We had budgeted 2,000 last year. Looks like we're at 9369. Yeah.
No, we took that out of capital improvements, your foreign. Do you need any new lights or anything in the office, or? file cabinets or anything, that would be that percent.
I don't really see where those LED lights come in handy or nothing. Because I have migraine headaches and when it's real bright in there.
So we can, want to keep it at 500 or 1,000?
Better do it 1,000.
The telephone, it would be nice to have one of those things that you can pop in your ear whenever I'm waiting on somebody instead of having to turn around and I
Yeah,
don't know how much those cost. I'm asking if I can have one of those.
I would squeeze that out.
we put that in department supplies, but you don't have to pay for your telephone because it all comes out of the general fund. And you just said you didn't want the city cell phone.
Right. Let's see. It's in the city paying for, not unless they want to pay for mine.
Then you get it in that conflict,
I know.
splitting the hairs there, so.
Right here, okay, when you talk about utilities,
She gets a portion, that building's one, so we split it between the police and her. I think hers is like 30% of the bill, because it was somehow or other, when it was built, that's what they said. So 30% of the power bill goes to the court office for usage.
what, is 2,500 sufficient, or it looks like they only spent 50% this year?
Yeah.
You just not transferred it maybe at this time.
We still
No.
got a while to go.
I mean, we had a,
Utility. Yeah, utility been down maybe this year.
yeah. Mhm.
The department supply,
Pretty good on the 2,000. Not unless they raise prices, so.
I mean, that's just your normal paper and ink and pens and all that that you got.
Now you add your phone thing in here on your equipment and tools.
Yeah.
So there's budget money to buy it this year.
Look with that MyTel system and see. Want to keep it at 2,000, the equipment and tools, then?
Well, now employee welfare. I think we ought to go up a little bit on that.
You need some psychiatric evaluation or something.
It
Strong
surely
for me.
comes in there. No, I don't know what that is. What is that?
That's in case you have to go take a drug test
Oh, okay.
for a certain reason.
Well,
Hope you never have to.
We had.
If your random number
that
comes
came
up, you're
several
in.
years ago. Remember that came up several years ago.
oh, yeah.
Yes.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
But if your number comes up, you're a lucky person that day.
For training.
We went over-
Training. Training, when you go to a conference, we register you. I know you said you couldn't go.
I couldn't go to last year because of COVID.
Yeah, they
But I've got to get training in this year. But we haven't gone over that $1,600.
I do have a question, because I've gone through and I've been going through and looking at personnel files. And Arian, did not see anywhere in there that the training that she's supposed to have for that position has ever been done. So we have any idea what the cost of that would be?
Would you like to address that, or would you want me to?
At this juncture, I'm not sure that she wants to pursue that.
All right.
I think
Okay.
at this,
Yes,
So
we'll
for-
talk about that.
Yeah.
But I just in case, you know,
Uh,
if it's not in the budget, or
just
just
in
in
case-
case, you got somebody else that's on.
then in that case, I would say maybe 500 to put us for, like, for a magistrate, first training or something. What do you think? 25? Or we probably do 2,000, that would cover us, I think.
Right.
Drop the travel probably down a bit.
The travel pays for you if you have to stay open.
Okay.
Yeah. 2,000 a year, so we won't be.
Oh. Yeah, I'm budget is what you got.
Probably leave the
Uh-huh.
house. But it is, and then 40. We'll
Okay.
probably get back up on that.
Going back to court and everything.
Fine.
With y'all,
Mhm.
pretty much. been there. Okay.
But we need to look at that.
Do you have any dues you have to pay? Court clerk?
Any membership to anything or anything like that?
Now, if I join the, thing, it was something like that. What it is.
And I've got 150. I've never billed the city for it, but it's for the Municipal Judges Association. I've been paying it out of pocket, so we don't, whatever y'all want to do.
We can put 200 in there for wheels and if you want to.
I had to check on it.
And advertising in the past, we've done some of the paper ads for that. You're not gonna do that.
So I've found that it wasn't as cost effective.
I don't ever see it is. It's the threatening with their life is a lot more cost efficiency and saying, we're gonna forgive you if you go in and come in. Excuse me, we didn't supposed to say threatening with your life, but anyway, jail time.
Threatening with your checkbook. Yeah, 15, I think that's it. Type of thing.
When we left up there, contract salaries, is that yours?
Oh, yeah, that is wheels.
Okay. There's that has not changed in several years. I think there's some need for any increase there.
I don't know what,
Huh.
it's been the same right here.
Yeah, it's been the same for years. So I guess since you've came on,
Have you gotten a raise since you've been here with? I don't.
no, I don't think so.
I don't know.
And
Would
it's
we- Huh?
and it's just,
I would suggest probably 10%.
Leave that.
and we
leave
do
that
it
to y'all.
10%, what, 23, let's round it on.
Yeah, be fine.
23 extra.
Appreciate it.
2,300?
Huh?
2,300
Twen-
extra.
No, the total will be 23,000.
23,000. I got
I can honestly say, I've worked in a lot of courts before. The city is very blessed to have Will as the
Being
municipal.
very flattering.
You know, hey, has she got her raise yet?
I mean, he is. an
Well, I will agree at this point, 'cause I'm out in the community and a lot of them work, at least some of these folks go there work for me. I hear a lot less than I used to hear.
excellent.
by far. Ain't that the case with Tell me, you don't hear as much complaints as you used to hear. It was always something going on here.
Yeah.
I've been to Troy, Selma, Bruton, East Bruton, Evergreen, Enterprise, and Will is by far, he is
That's-
top notch.
Flattering. I appreciate it, but it. this is-
Well, they make it easy for you.
They
So
make- yes,
I understand it.
This building keeps it running. If you left, we'd have to shut it down or get somebody,
Regroup and fun.
yes. I'd be real busy.
Okay. I think the only other thing on here is public health and welfare, which is jail fees. You got that in at 15?
Mhm.
Okay.
How much does the county charge?
$30-something a day.
30, is it still, what was it, about 35 or something?
Mhm. And then the state lets us, if we put someone in jail, the state lets us charge the defendant $20 a day for them staying in jail. So we can,
Recoup.
yeah. But that's, and then they really don't like that.
We all.
Why do I have to pay? Well, you're the one that cost yourself to get in there. We didn't do it.
We
Well,
try to
ought to be a
minimize-
wash.
Yeah.
They ought to have to pay it all.
We try to minimize people staying in jail
Yeah.
as much as we can.
But
Like as far as being sentenced to jail time at the conclusion of a case, I've only sentenced people to jail time maybe less than 5 times total, and those were on like serious offenses that I thought were borderline, could have been charged as felonies, and domestic violence involving a weapon or an animal cruelty, something like that. But you always have to keep in mind the cost to the city and cities. But we don't let them sit over there and run up a huge bill, but
All right. Anybody have any other questions?
One thing I would like to bring up to council is our building over there. I have noticed that, and I've mentioned this before to a council member, is that, that's a fairly new building over there. And instead of letting it run down, we need to, I know I'm probably stepping on somebody else's property, but it needs to be painted and upkept. It's like your home. If you don't keep it up, it's gonna run down. And the outside of it needs to be power washed and painted. The inside needs to be, taken care of as well. And that's one thing that I guess Public Works needs to look at.
Capital improvements, we look at through public works. probably.
And instead of letting it all come on at one time, keep it up during the year and not let it be like $15,000 to do such and such. So just, and I even mentioned assign one person to each building, and let them go in and paint and whatever, but that's y'all's.
Good suggestion.
But I can suggest.
That's right.
Well, it just makes good scenes. I mean, it's like you say, it's like your house.
I see it.
With all these buildings, not just that one, but all of them.
Make little notes on, what needs to be done, and, can of paint costs what, $20? And I ain't paint baseboards. I mean, women can do a lot. It costs a lot too.
You got it.
greatly appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all.
We'll get the painted.
Y'all get fighting over here, just come across the street and get me out of here.
See y'all.
On the week.
Okay, yeah, do that.
Later.
Because I had an idea as soon as, right after I saw you. I
Okay.
thought of something.
I'll give you a call.
Okay.
Keep it straight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
I can go see if he's out there. Somebody's from the park.
But she's coming back, that's what,
No, she's supposed to come at 3 something.
I'm coming.
Something about that. Anne
And
Marie Brown, she making being by
where's she
herself
coming back from?
at DRA, whatever that
Oh, that's,
down.
she's over there.
Whatever. Yeah.
Hello, how's everybody?
Another day
Just
in
right.
paradise.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
How you doing today?
Good. What about
Good.
you?
Doing great. Where do you guys want me to sit? Doesn't matter.
You can have that seat right over there, where you'll be front and center.
I like to be in the corner. Hey, how you doing?
You probably spent a lot of time there when you were in school anyway, didn't you?
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm old and married now, and I still stay over there.
I know that, dude.
You can pass those around, grab one out of each one.
I'm telling you.
I didn't
The
call because they
ABC.
said you was coming to the meeting, so I was gonna give you a phone, but
About your meeting?
no, I was gonna give you, no, not about the meeting. I was just gonna call you concerning what I would like to have down in the park, you know, so we can put it in the budget.
With that
Thank you.
Civic Club stuff? You know, hey there, how you doing?
That's the circle. Did you get
See
one
you
out
in
of
the ABC.
No, he's under the pool.
There's
and
two of
park.
them. Just grab
The what?
one out of each one.
We have the pool section,
Oh,
which is how
yeah.
much we give them. And then we have the park.
Parks
section.
and Rec.
Have y'all been doing this all week?
And your side-
No, it's not the same thing. One of them is, let me see. This one,
Oh, so-
this one. Yeah.
Paper bids.
Let me see that real quick and get film fixed up.
Just two different
How many
ones,
you got?
one and- You can get one out of each one.
Which one? You say your name?
It's
Decoration food,
60, 67,
60, 67, and 60, 69.
There you go. You got one of each other.
and then he also can get out of ABC.
He is, I think, yeah, that's your other one right there.
Hey, well, we can go ahead and get started. I've asked everybody to come through, and just, talk about a success story that we had, because we know COVID's been a challenging year. And any positive news we hear is good news.
Absolutely, that's right.
So, how we, progress with the park and everything. Were we able to have some summer programs?
Yeah, so we actually, we're back at full capacity this year in youth sports. Well, I say this year, beginning in baseball. It hadn't, basketball was, no, we still have rising numbers in, that's December, early January, but by the time baseball came back around, it was full
Full again?
capacity. Yeah.
Pools are back at full capacity. The splash pad y'all just built. Somebody's on it every day.
Got grandkids coming, so you probably see me out. Okay.
It was hit by lightning, so it was down for a week or so, working through. I don't know that, I don't think it was hit by lightning. It was, that's what they said, but I think that's the get out of the warranty, you know, on it. They said it could have been a power surge and, you know, but it's back up and going.
So I guess where we started, man, we're gonna start at the pool,
Yeah, the pool,
preparation pool.
yes.
Okay. And I see last year's budget at 87.5. Looks like at this point we're about 65%, 75% of the budget. And so I guess the question is, what's going to be the request?
He has 95,000 on there. It's the one that says YMCA pool management proposal.
Right at the top. You got what you need?
Yeah.
What are we on now? I'm sorry, I was trying to read.
Yeah,
Yes.
recreation.
Pool management.
Pool,
How much is it?
pool management.
Yeah.
And the request is for 95.
How does it actually work? I'm sitting here looking at, I guess, one of the things that you gave out. It says the cost for swim season. It says senior, Y member, non-member, so on. But then down here at the last one, it says concessions will be made for day passes, participant at Clausdale Pool. They don't have the same thing at the Y?
No, and how it originated there, I don't know, or why it originated there. But when the first time we took this over, they wanted Clausdale left at a pool pass because they said they didn't sell annual passes there. We changed it the first year and had it pool pass at both of them. And the pool over here it just doesn't hold the capacity. So we ended up having to go back to pool pass only. Left Clausdale because that's just what the council wanted. Anthony and Thelma actually were the ones that wanted it left alone. Why'd you look like that? You remember that conversation?
Okay.
Leaving
They
Clausdale
said-
alone, we were gonna do away with pool pass per
Oh,
day
okay.
thing. You and Anthony were the ones that wanted it left.
See, if someone has a pool pass, they can either go to Veterans or Clausdale.
That's right.
But the little kids at Clausdale, like say if somebody's grandkids came down,
Mm.
they don't have, we've never had daily rates except for at Clausdale. At Veterans, you had to have the pool pass. They didn't want daily rates at Veterans. So then down at Clausdale, Mr. Kenny Smith was always down there and he would collect the daily passes from all the kids that would come in down there.
They were paying like $2.
The $2 a day. That's what I'm talking about.
So you can't do that at the Y.
You can't do that at Veterans now.
That's kind of odd. Are they ran from the same entity? That's you, right?
Yeah, they're running the same entity. The problem is, to explain it a little better, we changed it to where you could. All right, so you had pool pass at both of them. You were able to pay, I call it pool pass. It's the $2 a day, the visitation fee at both of them. Clausdale pool is bigger than that Veterans Park pool. The park only goes to 5 feet. It's a small pool. It exceeds its capacity. So about 3 weeks ago, we had to go back to pool pass only. And what we did to kind of deter issues with that is we just offered half off pool passes to everybody that wanted a pool pass from that point forward because the summer was half over. We ended up having an influx of people at that pool, and the pool pass holders, members, were leaving. We were getting more complaints about that. One of the examples I used when I came back and the other day when I was here talking to them was we had, I think it was 13 or 14 folks in one vehicle came from Atmore. Came up here, pool pass thing, went in, and we just don't have the capacity for it. We certainly don't have the capacity for people from Atmore, and and all over the place to come, you know, flood the pool. The pool, that pool is not designed for your 15, 16-year-old kids. It's 5 foot. So what happens is you have, you know, generally younger families, smaller kids, it's 0 entry. And then you have 15, 16, you know, 13 or 14 of them from Atmore come in and they start roughhousing. You end up with more, you know, issues than just not having it. But history on that is we inherited that as well. All I did was go back to the way it was done when the city had it. And my first thought was, you know, why are they different? We'll make it straight across the board. And it didn't take me long to find out that that was probably the reason why they did it.
Because Clausel Pool is 9 foot,
It's 12 foot.
12 foot, and they,
It's a huge pool. It's big. It's twice as big as this one over
and they
here.
have the
Oh, I'm
diving
from here, I
board.
know.
Yeah.
So it
now,
can hold
there-
more.
there- If you have a food pass is good at both pools.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, if you don't have a food pass, and because of the situation that you run into at the small pool at Veterans Park, you're not able to get in at that point.
That's correct. Yeah.
Now, if you go to Clausel Park Pool and you don't have a food pass, it's $2.
That's correct.
So if you got a food pass, you can get into Clausel, don't have to pay anything.
Yep.
If you don't have a food pass, it'll cost you $2. And I think that's, I don't know if
That's
it's
it.
always been $2 or not.
It's always, we
Yeah.
left all that the
It's
same.
always-
Well, I was gone a
Yeah.
long time since I've been in.
Right. And those prices, you know, were prices that we inherited. They didn't, the mayor and council at the time did not want the pool pass rate changed, nor did they want the daily rate changed at Clausel. And they wanted the daily rate left at Clausel. So we left all of those. So to answer part 2 of your question, where these rates came from, we took the price that the city had. All right. And that 125, that was the rate that the city had 4 years ago when we started doing it. That was their pool pass rate. What we did to offer just an incentive to our members, we took $25 off what the city rate was. We didn't change the city rate at all. And we made a member rate. That's the $100. So the highest rate that's on that scale sheet is the one that the city had left that did they want change.
So if you're paying a family tax, like I pay one for my folks. We don't even go to the Y, but my daughter's in the senior this year now, but I still pay it every year just in case my wife wants to work out.
Huh?
If I wanted to go, my daughter wanted to go swim, I had to pay $100 extra on top of what I pay every month.
That's correct.
That's the
Is
pool
that
pass
veteran?
for what?
That's all of them. That's the
Yeah,
pool pass
yeah,
rate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but there's no $2 daily fee at the Y.
Correct.
At the Veterans Park.
That's correct.
But you don't have a
Yeah,
pool pass
yeah,
rate
yeah.
at Clausel, right?
Yeah, this pool, if you're a member of the Y, you and your family are members. Let me rewind, see if I can explain this a little better. Say the Y is out of it. The city's managing the pools. You gotta come to City Hall, you gotta buy a pool pass, it's $125. Okay? That's the way it was. The Y took over management over it 4 years ago. That sound about right?
That's right.
So doing that, we left that 125 like you were going to City Hall. That's just a non-member, not going to come anything. You're a member of the Y, you and your family. You get a break on your pool pass because you're a member of the Y. So you come to, instead of coming to the City Hall and paying 125, you go to the Y and you pay $100 and your whole family gets a pool pass. That pool pass lets you go to Clausel or Veterans. You go to any pool you want to.
You don't pay just $100, you only pay $125.
Yeah.
I get it, I get it. I get it.
In your, let's see, you requesting $7,500 increase for the pool recreation.
Yeah, well, it was 5,000. I was just about to ask her if that 87.5 number. That's not what what my record reflected. I think it was like 88.5 is what
It's 87.5 because we're at 75% and we have 3 more months left to pay.
Okay.
But I can go back and look.
It's 25% each quarter.
Yeah, it is. It's split up quarterly,
Well,
or actually it's monthly, but
there's only one other place in Monroeville that's used more than the wife, and that's the Walmart parking lot. You know, and I go by there daily. And I mean, there's nowhere else that you find other than Walmart, and I've said this before, that's used anymore than the wife. As far as I'm concerned, y'all do an outstanding job. It's not easy. It ain't easy.
anytime you work with the public, y'all know that. You work with the public, it's got its challenges.
Exactly.
I'll figure out about, what I had on that number, what she had on that number, but to explain what the increase was, we actually put in for the increase last year. And at the time, Mary just said couldn't do it. But it's pool chemicals. When we hit COVID, we're having to use a powder chlorine because they can't get tablets. We used to buy these buckets of tablets, and what we do, we get ours in bulk and store it, and we can't find it. So we've got these packs. It's powdered now.
Oh, chlorine's 4 times what it was, at least.
And I'll tell you this, that, we dealt with it last year. And so now we went year 2 into it, dealing with the same issue, but that's the reason for the increase. Our payroll's relatively the same. Power bill goes up every year, that stuff, but those are expected incremental increases. The biggest bulk of that increase is going to be chemicals. I mean, it's, I don't own a pool. My wife has been on me for a long time about a pool, and we just buy a pool pass, and matter of fact, she goes to Clausdale most of the time with my boys and swims, but I don't see, if you got one at your house, I can't imagine what it's hitting you for in
I
chlorine.
had one and I moved off and left, thank goodness.
I don't blame you for that.
You worth it. I wonder what does it cost? Of course, it's getting off track. A lot of people are converting the chlorine to salt.
Mhm.
And I just wonder how expensive. If this, of course, maybe it's going to level back out. But if it doesn't,
I don't know.
it's a lot of people doing that now with their home pools.
Yeah.
Just going salt instead of chlorine.
And that may be something to think about, because at some point, we backfill those things once a week, but at some point, and I don't know the process, the technical side of it. I'm basing it off what our technician says, but we're going to have to replace those sand that's inside those things, the boilers or whatever they are. But so that may be, I don't know what the process is. I'll certainly look at it.
I don't know. One of my other jobs for several summers, run the swimming pool and replacing that sand and doing all that. That's a pretty expensive proposition.
And that's what he said. He said it was going, I don't remember what he said it was, but I just kind of brushed him off and put it off. I said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
Maybe I need to bring this up now because I was calling you concerning it.
okay.
We need an adult down at that park. So we need to put some money in this budget. Or we need somebody down there to supervise. Because the children are not going down there. They're going over here to the connection. That's because we don't have an adult down there. So what we need to do is put like about 60,000 for security. Because the children just not going. And some of the parents said, it's not an adult down there to see about those kids. They're going over here to the connection. And we don't need those kids to go over there. Plus, it's no sense in having the park if they can't go there.
Why won't they go down there?
So what?
Why won't they go down there because of an adult? He has
There's
license.
nobody down there to supervise. See, when Kenneth was
Well,
down
you
there-
shouldn't be left unsupervised down
Well,
there.
we can't make the parents stay.
Well, that's.
So we need an
can't.
adult. See, when Kenneth was down there.
We can,
So what?
we can
What?
make sure the parents stay.
Yeah.
Well,
should.
I mean, we
Maybe
do
that.
that.
But we do need security down there. We need an adult down there. I don't care what you say. That's what we need. Because there's no sense in those kids going over here to the connection.
And you have those
And if
cameras.
you need to go.
Yeah,
over
there's
there.
security. out
Have
there.
you been to the connection? Have you
No.
seen? You need to go over there and see the connection.
I don't even know what the connection is, but
You know where it is.
Down going toward the,
Monroe Station.
yeah.
Listen, I'm
I'm
gonna,
just saying like this, it's no sense in having to poop. If we can't get somebody down there to, you know, to supervise, it's no sense. Because that's a nice place. And we need to put an adult down there. We do need that.
well,
So if we can get the money, will you be okay with it if we could get somebody to go down there and make it fine?
hiring somebody down
Yeah.
there. I'm gonna say this, Thelma, and I'm gonna try to paint the clearest picture I can. You know, when the city first came to me about this, you know, I was excited about the idea. It's a good fit. It's what we do. That's our deal.
They said to save money.
Well, that might have been the city's initial response. I'm talking about for us. It's another avenue for us to fulfill our mission, which is reaching these kids in this community. And in the process, your guys' job was, like you said, the forefront was to save money. And we've done that. We're running it cheaper. We save the city money on the front end. We're doing it more effectively and cheaper. That's what we do, right?
But-
I don't run government. You do.
Yeah,
But if the objective is to do it cheaper and more effective, then that's being done. If we want to spend taxpayer dollars, $60,000 for somebody to go and sit down there
well, we
to
can-
babysit two staff,
well, now-
that's your guys' prerogative. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. If you
But now
want to
we-
budget it in there, then I will hire
We
somebody.
didn't have this problem when Kenny was down there. I'm just straight up.
I'm gonna be straight up too. I'm not
Yeah.
hiring Kenny Smith.
Now, I didn't vote for this, for the why. I was the only person that said, no, we don't need to do this. We need to keep him down. But I was just one vote. But now, when he was down there, it was fine. But now, you know, the parents are calling me now saying, you know, y'all need an adult down there because, you know, it's nobody down there to supervise the kids.
But, Michelle, let me ask you, so I'm not familiar with Connection. Does Connection have adults down there supervised?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Three?
Freedom Watch.
Okay, how many is that? Just one?
I don't know. I don't know how many.
Do they charge any admission or anything?
I don't think so. Now, you have to talk to Frida about that.
Okay.
You know, she said it at the last meeting,
But let
that
me
that's
ask-
what the kids do.
let me ask you this question. If, she has a facility and she's doing it and not charging anything, would there be people who would consider doing the same thing that she's doing at Clausville Park and you got all the facilities? It sounds like what she's doing is volunteer.
But I don't know. You have to talk to her about that because she said, you know, that somebody said she had 100 kids over there the other Sunday.
What do they do? What is the connection? What is it? What are they doing?
I've never been there before.
I don't know.
I think it was a.
I tell you what, I think we'll go through and look at, you know, what she is doing. And if it would be most cost effective, so that she doesn't have to come out of anything. If she wants to do that, Clausville Park, we might could work it out.
I mean, like I said, I don't know what she's
But
doing. but
I don't know, but.
I don't mind sitting down and talking with her or partnering with her if
Well,
that's,
she-
if that's.
she'll be at the meeting. You know, she was at the meeting last time. And she told us that she had the children over there at the
Okay.
connection. You remember?
Yeah, I think we need, I remember her bringing up, someone bringing up saying that. I think what we need to do is probably get into more discussion with them and see how maybe the city and she can partner. So we may get it off some things that she don't have now.
But at the connection.
I don't know.
You need to go down there before we take it. You need to go down there and look at the connection because I've heard too much about it. You know, I was just going about what I heard about the connection. You know, I've never been in the place. You know what I'm saying?
I had a young man that, and if, I don't even know if this is the same place. There was somewhere over out Monroe Station Road or something like that. He would go over there on Sundays and they would race four-wheelers and stuff. So I don't know if that's the same
I
place
think
or,
it's the same thing.
and that may be, but
I'd worry about liability.
yeah, well, we're not racing four-wheelers in Clausville Park, guys. I mean, I don't think that's cool. You're
I'm
right.
talking about over there.
Oh, out there? Yeah.
If you letting people come on your property and do that, you might get hurt. If you don't have insurance.
This kid told me they were doing it in the road. I guess, is it on a dirt road? Little paved, old,
See, I don't really know that much about it.
yeah. I think they're doing it on the
The
road.
places they were talking about is just before you get to where you go into the old, temple.
Okay.
You know,
Yes,
go
ma'am.
past
Uh-huh,
Harrison.
yeah.
I think that's where it is down there.
Yes, ma'am.
He has been there before. It's,
What is a connection?
It's just like a,
it used to be a little club.
yeah, it used to
It
be a
used to be a
club,
little club.
but they made it into like a big field now.
Like a
Kids
teen
can-
center club or something?
Nah, it was something for adults.
What are the kids doing there?
They let them play and ride their bikes and different things, have little slides, different things out there. They cook and play music, play volleyball.
Mhm.
Are they doing that now?
Guys in the community get together and buy food and stuff and have a safe environment for them to play,
Just for the kids?
just for the kids, not for the adults.
Hmm.
Got a little petting zoo down there with goats.
How do you get down? Go through what?
It's like you going on Oregon Drive,
Oh,
all the way back.
Toward Monroe Station?
Yeah, they don't take the big road and go.
Well, I know that this is something in purpose of this is to get some idea of what you're requesting for the budget. And I think when we get into finalizing the budget, that's gonna be something that will be proper time to go back and we discuss it. We just try and get the numbers in now.
Okay.
And then when the council meets on finalizing it, that's when we make adjustments in. So,
Well, if you guys, if that's the decision that you make, that you want an adult hired to stay down there, then, you know, we could build it in. I could tell you what it costs and we'll build it in. But I will say this though, Thelma, in saying that, we're gonna hire who we want to hire. You know, it's not
yeah,
saying, you know,
okay,
hey, here it
that'd be
is, and then
fine.
you gotta
That'd
hire
be
this
fine.
guy.
You don't have to get Kenneth, you know, you can get whoever you would like, just since the person is down.
But, you know, I would say, you know, those guys that are down there, I mean, one of them's 23 years old. One of the guards that's down there.
I know.
He's hot, he's home from college. He's his, you know, senior year of college, baseball player. Home, he guards down there. So, I mean, it's
I know
not,
when I went down there, it was just two. I think it was. a
Well, there's
young
two
lady,
down there
yeah,
that stay.
I think 17, 18.
My other question would be, does this need to be a full-time or part-time person? Because you got a whole heck of a lot going on doing one.
yeah.
So are we
During the
talking
winter, I
about a
guess you
seasonal?
probably wouldn't use them.
Yeah, so
Because
we're
you
talking
don't too
about,
much have them down there doing,
we'd be talking about a seasonal employee, I guess.
because they
I
don't swim
guess.
during the winter. down there.
All right.
Well, is it the park that you think needs the adult supervision, or are you
The
saying
park,
it's the
whole
pool?
place, the whole
Well, then that's gonna be a full-time deal. And that'll be a full-time. And then you got to structure hours in there. You want somebody monitoring the park from,
We just need.
This time to
security.
this
I'm just gonna
time, or-
say we need security down there. That's all I can say. So, you know, you can go from there.
I'm sorry, I ain't had lunch yet. I had to grab something to eat, but. But my only question was, you know, about the pool pass and different things like that.
huh?
So if you have everything over the Y and Closet Park, all the parks should mimic each other, right?
Mhm.
Like even the baseball fields, we cut, crushed brick, everything lined up, ready to go. On the fields at Veteran and on the fields at Closet, right?
I would say I disagree with that.
But it's the same thing.
It's not really the same thing. There's league play that plays at Veterans and they don't play at Clausel. Again, if the objective is to do that, then, you know, I don't mind building that into the budget. We'll put, you know, it's $1,000 a load to put crushed brick on the field. And there's no teams that practice down there. They don't play down there.
Don't they play softball games on there?
Yeah.
I can tell you this, I have not one time I had one guy approach me about using that park for a softball tournament. And then the next week he was in the newspaper, he's arrested for,
I know Karen Banks.
Well, I would like to see it done down there.
Yeah,
So
right.
whatever I
That's good.
need to do as far as getting with you to have that built into the budget, as far as the fields being kept up like the ones on Veteran, being, the grass being sprayed the way it's supposed to get the weeds and stuff out, have everything cut so it could look, because it's supposed to be the same, it should look the same, right?
Yeah, it's gonna look the same.
I mean, that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to ask him. He said, no.
you might want to get with that civic club then and You know, if that's the objective, you're gonna need backstops built down there and, I mean, there's a whole backstop gone completely off of one field.
But the Civic Club doesn't sponsor
That's right.
the park.
Civic Club doesn't sponsor the park, but the Civic Club has, we met the other day, with their president about, doing upgrades and stuff like that. Yeah, that, the city's gonna go in there and build them. I mean, however you wanna do it.
With us that day in Kennett, was it?
Yeah. Mhm. You know, you guys asked me to put together that list of, or he did, put
Yeah.
together a list of stuff that need to be improved over there.
But
Still
the
kinda-
Civic Club's not responsible for the.
No, they're not. They're not. No, 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 no. What I'm referring to is the list that he wants put together of upgrades and stuff to be done over there so they can utilize the funds that they get, right, that appropriated funds for 5 years, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
think
still
we're gonna
not-
have to,
not dedicated to the park though, right? That's dedicated
Yes,
to
it is.
the park, right?
I think because we're gonna
It's the
get
park.
ready and get behind.
It's dedicated to the park.
The park,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna get behind on our hearing schedule. So the thing I would like to do is to go ahead.
But it was on the park. Okay, don't worry about it. I asked my dad. But
Okay, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, well, this is the thing, we need to go ahead and get the budget information in, so we don't get behind on our schedule. So we'll take whatever, you said 95. Then we'll go through and we'll go to your next part of it, and we'll come back and have a
Okay.
separate discussion.
What's your other,
It's the
60,
69, the park.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, one of them's parks and one of them's pools. It was, one was done 1 year and one was done separate, so we just kept them separate.
So,
I can make it.
workman's comp,
I'll let you get that.
1,500 to be for the thing next week,
What now?
I'm sorry?
Workman's comp,
yeah,
15.
or 60, 69.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Actually, we don't have workman's comp no more out
Okay.
there because
We
when
carry
they
all that.
took it
You
over,
carry
yeah.
Okay, all right, so that's zeroed out. Building supplies, building and maintenance supplies. You had like 2021, 1,500. Is that your request for next year or?
I don't know what that is up there.
That's for ours that we still have to pay out there at veterans. 'Cause
That
like
you
we
guys
still-
break it down like that or something?
Yeah, we still have to pay part of the utilities, all the street lights, the building maintenance and supplies, it's part of the airplane, like we're over the airplane, we still have to make sure those are maintained.
Okay.
And then, the lights, what else are we,
Okay.
Probably the street lights leading into Clausell, maybe?
Yeah. well, all the better, not the baseball lights, but the lights at the memorial, that's.
Oh, I got you.
The memorial. There we go.
So 1,500 you think?
Well, for building maintenance, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what those, that is. That's not,
Okay. Utilities, it was 5 last year,
I would go down to 2,500.
2,500.
And then when they have the 4th of July, we get that power bill.
Fuel and oil, we had 2,300 in here.
We have to pay the fuel and oil, but the YMCA in general, it's just a wash when we get the bill, because they still use the fuel card at the park.
we
They-
reimburse the city for it.
Yeah,
That's
and then
right.
they just reimburse it for us, but we just expense it out of there,
Okay.
and then we get it back in the revenue.
So 2,300 sounds good.
And then this professional services is the amount that the Y is proposing.
So 189, 876.
And that was unchanged.
Right.
Bookkeeping purposes, can we just, round it up to 190 and make it even? Steven?
Do we have anything that we need to reimburse you for like capital improvement or anything?
So the way, I'm sure you're familiar with this too, the way we've done that in the past, those are really, I mean, it's hard to plan those, other than it being a scheduled capital improvement or upgrade or something. So I think in the past, they might have just budgeted, an amount in there or something, and then we just, if we had something come up, then, we had a mower blow up on one of those machines, and that's, those are, you just can't, a transformer blew on one of the poles. Hammer came out and fixed that. Those are things that you just can't budget for.
What was the cost on those, the reimbursement? You remember general things?
No, but I can go back through. I sent all those invoices over to Mary via email, but I'll find out.
Right, I was just keeping in mind, we might all put something in there for budget purposes.
Well, they do, and Amanda, you may know what that is. She did put a figure in there.
Okay.
But now, how much of it was, or whatever that figure was, or how much of it was spent, I don't know. But normally what I would do is just, I would, if we had something like that happen, we would just take care of it, and then just
not
submit for
sure.
reimbursement.
I'm not sure what was bought, but last year 23,000 to veterans and Causewell Pool. We gave out capital improvement. I have no clue what that would be for.
That sounds, I actually was gonna say 25, but that sounds about right. I had 25 in my mind for some reason. And out of that, we had that pump, we had a pump at Clausell. We had two pumps at Clausell go out, the big pump and then the small one went out. So there's really it's hard to budget for those. I think that's what that figure's for, just for your guys' purposes. You want to.
You want to put 25 in under that line item, and we come back and look at it, just in case. We'll look at the capital improvements, and but it'll be there to remind us.
Last year I think it was last year, the new mower was purchased.
Did we buy a side by side?
And a side by side,
That's
year
under
before.
something.
Year before last was the mower. Last year was the side by side.
Maybe that was what?
Yep.
The side by side was probably 23 then.
No, that was a separate, that was a separate,
Separate account.
yeah, it was a separate item on that, yeah. And as a matter of fact, I think you guys just dealt, I did the state bid portion of it on it, and you guys paid for that directly.
I see on here, okay, the Veterans Park improvement. In 2021, they budgeted 57.4, but didn't look like there was anything spent.
They haven't done that yet, and I don't have a whole lot of information on that. Amanda can probably shed light on that, but I do know that there was some like a grant match or something like that for that mulch to go in that playground.
Okay.
But now it has, to my knowledge, it has not been done. I don't think it has. They were gonna go in there and pull the mulch out, smooth it out, matter of fact, it shows up every time we do our risk assessment, our insurance thing, the holes that are in the swings. We gotta go through there and fill those things up with dirt before she comes.
That was Jeremy and them got that grant deal. Supposed to be the rubber.
That's what it was, those rubber things. That's exactly right. Yep.
Ready-
That's right.
ready tires.
It has the numbers on here on the side, that was 6918.
'Cause when were they supposed Were they supposed to already done that?
Yeah.
I know, I got a call and they said, hey, they're gonna be coming out in a month, and that was, several months
I
ago.
remember that.
Might need to ask them, because it was a grant and we had to,
We had to match.
They, the
8,400.
8,400 was the city
Yeah.
portion.
Are you at 23,000?
51, 57,000.
6918, the Veterans Park improvement.
I remember him coming in and saying they had gotten it, so I'm gonna have to check with Jeremy.
Or Michael,
I think Michael's the one that actually called me and told me that, because we were talking about closing it for a couple days to get that project done. In fact, I mentioned to him about us filling in those, how kids swing and it digs.
Oh, yeah, dig.
And Ricky, there was one other thing I saw with the Clausdale Park Playground, 16,666. That was in this year's budget.
That's gonna be the
That's
Civic Club.
That's the
money.
civic club.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
They didn't do,
They
I
didn't.
talked to Mr. Rhodey last year, actually I went over there. It was year before last. When we bought the security system. The next year, he and I were in conversations and that's when COVID hit. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to go speak to his club on like a Thursday or whatever night it was. And that's when the governor shut everything down.
Everything done.
Yep. And so
Okay.
then he went out of office and Kenny, so I think it's a rolled over amount.
Yes.
Is that
Roll
right?
over. Okay, so how much do they get a year?
But now,
You get
13,
13, three,
yeah.
13,300. So do we need to add another 13 to that 16
Right.
to have it in the budget?
Mhm.
So you're 29,660, well, 13,333, that'll be 29,999. It's actually, we gonna be a little bit more than that.
I have to see.
23,
I think that includes both of them.
23,400 by the time you add the 68 cents.
And that's the civic club money.
Mhm.
40,000 over 3 years.
Yeah,
19.
and they spent some on a
They
couple
spent
things.
one time. That
Yeah,
was
the first
13,
year it was
yeah,
spent.
Okay.
that was 13.
That's when Mr. Rhodey was chairman. He got
Right.
the surveillance stuff
Right.
approved.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
So we're supposed to match whatever the civic club is.
That's how much we have to give them.
No, it's not
We got
matching.
anything?
There's no matching.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Give them that three.
We pretty much got everything covered now, Amanda?
Yes, because on ABC, they haven't requested anything for a couple of years.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at the Monroe County Education Foundation.
That is not me though.
No.
You guys got any questions? Tell me, you got any questions?
If not, I was just concerned about an adult. But make sure you come to the meeting on 15th at 5:30 here at City Hall. 'Cause maybe you can answer some of the questions that the parents will have. And then they won't have to be calling me and not.
That's neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
Do you,
But he's coming to the meeting. 'Cause they can, they have.
you have trouble getting lifeguards?
Oh, yeah.
I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
Did
We-
did you get with Reverend Odom? He used to be a lifeguard in Durant, you know Durant.
I know, yeah, I know Durant.
Yeah.
I know
How
real.
many lifeguards do we have in all?
Well, we certify every one of our employees to, they cross from day camp to lifeguard. So I'll tell you this, to answer your question, when you're talking, it's not just the lifeguards, it's in general. We normally have, say we have 100 applicants a year and we hire 50. This year we had, I think it was 30 and we hired 25. So to answer your question, 25, we have 25.
Did they go through the training?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Did they
We-
train down here? Most times they have the training.
No, we normally do our training here, but we collaborated with the Bruton YMCA and did our training together with them this year. Our certification, and then we did our in-service here, which is where I go through and do the staff training portion of it. But yeah, it's
I was afraid of that.
it's
because
tough
just
finding them.
Hard to do.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Anything else? All right.
We're behind.
Ain't gonna cool.
You know what? I have one person text me and said that she wants to reschedule, so I'm gonna put her in a.
Who is that?
The Health Foundation. That's Christy Dunn.
That's probably who he's looking for now. She's scheduled.
No,
right now.
she's the help foundation. She's not scheduled till 4, but she's a part of that wedding that she's like,
She
oh.
worked the trail. Y'all got awarded some money.
Buddy,
Don't have anybody
Something
there.
that they didn't do.
All right.
Y'all got awarded some money. Like,
We may have to move up back then toward the bottom of the list. Next one come in, we'll go with them.
Yeah.
I understand who are you?
The special session shouldn't take long,
What time you gonna start at 3?
3:30.
Oh,
Maybe Anthony, Anthony.
here's the, Alicia,
Okay.
if you want to just review over it.
The educational foundation.
And they're not here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she come here and she left there, she'll be back. So she was early.
Miss Richardson is here. Can
That's
she
fine.
come on back?
Yeah.
Okay. Olivia, this is good.
Okay.
Just make a copy.
Okay.
So we need to keep one on file. They will come under what, ABC? plan?
Yes, ABC, it'll be the, under the Monroe County Board of Education. 'Cause
58,
it's-
81.
Is that the $50,000?
No, that's ad valorem tax. We don't have any control over that.
What's that number again?
58, 81 on the ABC. plan.
We'll have a lot from the Board of Education, like Miss Richardson, she's with the, part of the high school. Then we have the high school, elementary, and middle school. They said they were gonna be coming out today, so.
But they did last time
Mhm.
we had it.
Okay. See, and which ones won't be coming?
The only one that I have is the Monroe Health Foundation.
Okay.
She texted me and they, she said that she would have to reschedule because she's a part of that wedding this afternoon. that they-
Okay. Monroe County Board of Education. Okay. All right. Hello, how are
How's
you?
everybody? Everybody doing okay?
Good, good, good. Go on in.
All right, okay. Where do I sit in?
You can just sit up here and one of these.
Good,
Be fine.
okay, that's fine with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I on right now?
You can go ahead.
Okay, it won't take me long.
You're here. Go ahead.
Okay. Guess somebody else need money then, huh? Is
that
right?
We got on a tight schedule. We got a whole
Thank you.
lot.
Okay. You all doing okay?
Yeah.
Mr. Ruffin,
Hey, how you doing?
you have down your days now.
Hey, I've been up here, so I've been working out the whole while.
Yeah, it's almost over. For many of you who may not know me, I'm Ms. Edna Richardson. I'm the principal at the Career Tech Center and also serve as the Director of Career Tech Ed for the Monroe County School System. I gave you a folder, so basically you have some documentation when I leave to look it over. Basically, we started a Junior Reserve Officer Training Course Program, JROTC, for the high school year on last school term. It has August 2021. It was an unusual year, but we went ahead, went forward with that program. It was very successful. We hired Major James Hill. He retired from the military after 20 years, an excellent choice instructor for our students and for our school district. He is very aggressive and innovative. Before he got hired, he is in the know, so he contacted someone who closed down a program in Jackson, Mississippi. And as a result of that, that sort of gave us an edge up. He went and got somebody closed it down. They donated 25 uniforms, roughly 25 to 30 uniforms for our students. Basically, the disadvantage of that, we were appreciative of everything, but they were odd sizes, size 5, 7, and 9. And that's not an average size for many of the high schools, but we made it work. I do have some money from the State Department that I also put forth with some of the monies to buy additional uniforms, but unfortunately, it's still not enough. Basically, the uniforms that each student has, I think that put that on your folder, is basically, it entails shoes, it entails pants or trousers, is what he calls them. And then it has like a shirt, a dress uniform, a dress jacket, and then I bought the ties for him. And then the military requires that they wear an undershirt because of COVID. Basically, that's the restriction. So basically, a uniform normally costs about $350 per student. Currently, we have about 50 students enrolled this past school term, which is great because the new programs, you have to do recruitment. So I thought that was good for us to get 50 students in. And then again, with COVID being with us. So that was a great enrollment. We've already done our recruitment. We anticipate 40% up. So basically, that's why I'm coming before you. My center serves all of the high schools, grades 9 through 12 at J.F. Shields, JUB, Excel, and Monroe County High School. So we have a need for this program. The program is really good. I was very fortunate. I sort of got in the nose with the State Department and with the government. You have to have certain criteria. We didn't need it, but I've been in education long enough, so they granted us this Monroe County, the JROTC program. And I was very fortunate for that, and the board superintendent embraced that. The program actually teaches our students discipline, teaches them teamwork, pride, physical fitness. There are so many components to JROTC. Many of our students are not going to college. Many of them not going to tech school. Many of them not even going to just 2-year colleges. Many of them already know, hey, I'm going to military. So this gives them an edge up. For a student who says, hey, I'm going to military. We had one this year in the 12th grade from JUB. Knew he was going to the military, so this is going to be an advantage for him. For that particular student.
That's the other.
But for that particular child, that child is already enlisted in the military. Normally they start out as an E1. He will automatically enlist as an E3. And I gave you that advantage on your sheet. That will put that child at least $500 more per month. So that was one incentive, the reason why I wanted it, because I know many of our students across the county wants to go into the military. Another advantage is because it's accountability for all our high schools. All of you know that all high schools get a report card. It's either A or an F. So this will be an accountability plus for our students enrolled in JROTC for at least 2 years. That gives each high school a plus for every child enrolled in JROTC on the college and career ready side. And another advantage, I'm always looking out for our children. Many of our students can't go to college if they don't have scholarships. So if they are enrolled in a JROTC, then they can enroll and apply for scholarships at universities that have ROTC on the collegiate level. Many of the universities like Alabama State University, University of South Alabama, Alabama A&M, these colleges have ROTC. So they will ask counselors, I don't know if you're allowed about this. Anyway, these colleges have ROTC, and the advantage of our students, if they're enrolled in our ROTC, they can apply for scholarships on the collegiate level and get a free ride. I'm trying to give you some benefits of the program, not to just say, I'm coming in front of you for money. And then another advantage for our JROTC program, I'm a very adamant involvement with community. The major, if you saw the Christmas parade, you saw our students in that. So they're also available for community events. If you have new businesses coming aboard, and I'm gonna tell you, in the city, businesses look at schools before they, and you all know that because I go to a lot of meetings with you too. If you don't have good school systems, they'll pull out in a minute. So you can call on our JROTC units to greet our new business, to give them some buy-in and look at our educational system. So those are the components. And that's one reason why I'm asking you for monies right now. I do have monies, but not enough for our uniforms. I'm trying to help them get enough because the Major Hill, he's a great instructor. It really speaks volumes. He makes these children that's enrolled, Mr. Ruffin can contest to this. On Thursdays, when they're getting off the bus, coming to my center, or I'm visiting schools out, these children have on their complete uniform, beret, the cap, they have a shirt, the pants, shoes, and they are disciplined children with leadership qualities. So that makes our other children who may not, all children are good children. Some of them just need a little bit more nurturing, but that may say, look, I might be able to be this way. So that's one reason why I'm asking for more money for the uniforms, because we don't have enough to outfit every child. We anticipate a good 60 to 70 students in this program this year. So for those children coming in, I won't have any monies for those uniforms. And you have to have some type of draw in for children to want to do certain things. I put down a little budget. Major Hill, he helped me with this. As you see, one uniform costs $350. So I'm asking kindly if you could maybe donate. Of course, we accept anything that you could have in your budget. 15 uniforms at the cost of $52.50. But of course, if you can't give us that much, just whatever you can. You all have always been so supportive of Career Tech Ed. I think a couple of years ago, you gave me money for a new program, electrical, to purchase textbooks. So basically, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, one quick question, ma'am. Is this a one-time expense or is it recurring?
It's gonna be a one-time. I'm just trying to gradually
Okay.
add things in, like I told you. He went to
Right.
Mississippi, he got about 25 uniforms. They got us started. So
Right.
this year I anticipate more. So with the 15 uniforms, it will put us where we need to. I do have funds from the State Department. It's not very much. I have to use these funds for all of my high schools and all of my teachers in the district. So it's gonna be a one-time.
Right, 5250 would be in addition to the 7,500 that we have here.
What's 7,500?
In last year's Monroe County Education Foundation.
That's different.
That's a different. I'm representing Monroe County Career Tech Center.
Where-
She would fall under with the Monroe County Board of
Board of
Education.
Education.
Board of Education.
Yeah, city schools.
Now, one time, there was, back when this all first
And that's
started, there
all
was
the
an issue
schools
with the
together.
instructor's salary. Is this
That's a
county
20,000.
picking that up? now?
Yeah, and that's all the schools together.
So
That
this
was
is
not
for
an
your
issue.
25.
Well,
Let me just tell you, let me.
well, whatever. I mean, it
No,
doesn't
sir,
matter.
it doesn't, it was not an issue. Basically, what I did to
20,000.
compensate
Last year they
salary.
asked for
In
20,500,
the career
all
tech
the
division,
schools
we can
together.
let
We combined
programs
them all
go
together.
when it's not
Okay.
beneficial.
But
Or
this
when I don't
program
have
for all
student
schools,
enrollment,
yeah,
I
this-
let
that's
my
for
electrical program go because I
25,000.
only had 32 enrolled.
Yes.
And I have a need for this program.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah,
basically,
no doubt.
the district didn't have to pay anything. Now, I do have to hire another additional teacher this year. And they will pick up that salary. But the reason why I want this program, the State Department, after we have done this for 3 years, then they will pay for that additional salary. So,
Yeah,
yes,
no,
sir,
I don't
know
mean that.
what
I
you're
was
talking
just
about, but I
wondering.
promise you it wasn't an issue. It was,
It was, but it wasn't.
I don't know how.
I
else to-
understand
yes,
what
sir.
you're saying.
Okay, but it
Because
was
you
all
dropped
right.
one and picked up another.
Yes, sir, so it equals out,
Yeah.
okay? Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions?
I was just wondering where the funding is coming from.
It's coming from one of my units, like Mr. Ruffin is a teacher unit for me, agri-science.
Right.
This coming from my unit with an
Yeah,
electrical.
that's fine. No, I was.
Yeah, but I mean, I wanted to, say, that was a valid question.
That's a
Okay?
good program.
Yes,
That's a real
I
good
think so too. Ms.
No
Gibson.
doubt.
Thank you.
It's
It really,
well needed.
it's well, and it teaches actually, we had a child who was constantly at the alternative school, stayed there all year. The parent called me up in March and said, Ms. Richardson, would you please allow my child the opportunity to get in JRTC? Otherwise, he's gonna be lost. He was a senior. So as a result, I talked to him and he agreed. And he was in the program for about 2 weeks and loved it and is now enrolling in the middle year. So that's better than on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my former students is the lead instructor at Robertsdale High School. He's a retired Navy guy.
I don't know.
He graduated from
Yeah,
Frisco
okay.
City.
So they have a Navy. they have a Navy.
I have, because,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Pensacola. and
Right, I
that area,
understand.
Like that.
So I appreciate, any other questions at this time?
I think we got it. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
appreciate it. Thank you all so much for listening to. See y'all later. Okay?
I don't know who else is interested. There's a bunch of folks. Start passing out money up. there.
Probably one of those times like got a buzzer on.
Monroe County Education Foundation, they next.
Yeah, you can beep him, give him a beeper. Horn to blow when time's up.
Should be.
Yeah, they came to us several years ago and wanted the city to fund the instructor,
Can't do that.
but that was one of
I was glad hopefully we'll be able to help those kids, because I'm telling you, man, you were educated before, but it's way different now.
the, oh, no doubt. I'm thank the Lord every day. I ain't dealing with it.
This guy has a great personality. You know, he can draw these people in.
The guy- the guy-
Straight out. Okay, it's still under.
This is still under the
Instructor.
Board of
Board of
Education.
Education
She said she's with the high school,
And she's at the
Mr.
elementary
Woody,
and elementary.
and then the
Elementary.
elementary school.
Okay.
So whichever one wants to go first.
All right, I'm Mr. Woods' assistant, Shakanda Howard. Basically, we are asking for, assistance with our technology, just as we did, in the past. This past year with COVID, from the funds that you all have helped us with in the previous year, supplying Chromebooks, and carts for our students, we were able to take the Chromebooks that we had and to actually give each student a Chromebook during COVID when we were out virtual. So that helped us tremendously because we've been building our Chromebook amount for several years. We not only used that this year to help with COVID, but that was a big, I guess, relief for our parents, for a lot of our students that don't have technology at home, don't have the internet. We assured them that we had enough Chromebooks, and if something happened to the Chromebook, we could replace them with another Chromebook, so they won't have downtime, for instruction. But in the past years and this year as well, we've used our Chromebooks for a lot of things. We've had help with ACT prep. We use a program called Jumpstart. That program is an online program where students go online, they can watch tutoring sessions, the teacher can reinforce it in the classroom, and it helps along the way to build their skills where they're deficient, because they take a pre and a post test to see how well they do. And it helps them when they actually go take the real ACT, so they won't feel nervous about the content. So that has helped. This past year, actually, we've had our juniors to take that class. And out of all of our students that tested, we probably had one or two that did not move at all. But everyone in the entire class moved and showed progress. So that's been very successful. We've used it for a couple of years. We also have an ACT prep course that we have for juniors, and those juniors take that class and they work on strategies, how to take the test, how to not be nervous, how to read the prompts, what to do when the timer calls time, different things like that. So we use those in conjunction with the Jumpstart program and our ACT prep course. The biggest part of our day during the fall, winter, and spring, we have what's called classwork that we use for our intervention. So our Chromebooks and our computers help us with that as well. We're able to assign teachers a part of Chromebooks where they can use that for intervention in the class. Students normally take a winter and a fall and a mid-year screener where it picks up deficiencies on whatever they have in math and English.
Yes,
So we use those results to work on their deficiencies, and that in turn helps them improve academically.
right.
Our success with academics has skyrocketed since we use ClassWorks and Jumpstart. So we look at students who normally would be probably high B students are now ABC students. So it helped with their proficiency in those two subjects. But we want to continue that and keep working on our English and our reading scores and making sure our students do well in those two areas.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then it bleeds over into the rest of the school. They do well in history, science, So it's full circle. It helps us out everywhere.
Now, I know in when you sit down, you said you were asking for assistance with technology.
Mhm.
And I, I guess, the question is, are you asking for an increase in funding? And, if so, what amount?
Okay, our Chrome carts, they generally range anywhere from about 28 to 35 Chromebooks in a cart that it will have.
Mhm.
And the cart itself will have the Chromebook as well as charge. You have a charging port on the back. That's usually about $8,000-9,000 in total for a cart. And this year with us having our Chromebooks that we're using for COVID, that we give to the students, we were aware ahead of time that there was gonna be some wear and tear on those. And as we started the process from years back, the original Chromebooks we started out with are obsolete now. They're no longer available because we use the Chromebooks for testing as well. So we're asking to replace, in a sense, the ones that are outdated and no longer useful. So that'll be probably about, like that, $8,000-9,000 for those Chromebooks. We have a cart that we have already purchased, but we just need more Chromebooks to replace and put in those carts.
Okay.
I think the junior high school had those books too, actually.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure did, because we gave them, I think.
Yes, ma'am. And in that $8,000-9,000, I'm not sure this year with COVID, with everybody using, Chromebooks and laptops so much, if the prices have gone down, but they usually give us a quote around that much. We're also looking to replenish one of our labs. We have a lab that has outdated computers as well that we use for a yearbook. We use for different events around schools. We try to have our students design different things. So we're looking at replenishing that lab as well. Now, those computers, we normally need the monitors, which now a lot of schools are buying just the tablets, but we need the monitors as well, the screen, to go along with those. And we usually supply about 20 of those in that lab. And those costs range anywhere from $300 to $500, depending on the combination. If you get just the monitor, just the hard drive, or get a combination of both.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening, how are you all?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Just fine. I am the newly assigned principal at Monroeville Elementary School, so this is new for me. In the past, I know Ms. McCord has come and asked for funds for our leader in the process and things that we need in the library. And I want to thank you all for the $4,000 that you gave last year. This year, I want to focus on 3 areas. We are mandating that from the State Department that we have to have headphones for every one of our students in 2nd through 4th grade because of the new test that they're going to take ACAP. So it's new components that they're going to be assessed on. They have to listen to the phonics part. They have to listen to fluency part. So we will need headphones for each one of those. That'll cost me about $3,000 for that. I also want to start an attendance initiative. Our average over the past 3 years is sad to say, it's about 4,900 absences. So I want to address that by having celebrations each 9 weeks and giving the electronic devices to my students who are there at school. We do a drawing based on how many days you're at school. So I want to have, like, every week, if you don't miss more than so many days, your name get to go into the drawing. But also, to be fair to all the children that are meeting that qualification of being at school, I want to do a celebration each 9 weeks with them. Maybe the last 9 weeks, do a cookout with them, barbecue grill, have them to come, pizza party, snow cone party, or nacho party. Some kind of way to encourage them to be at school, because if they're not there, they're not learning. And that's why when I looked at all this, I'm like, that's a lot of absences for pre-K through 4th grade. So I want to start an attendance initiative there at the school. About $3,000 will cover to do that for the entire school year. And then again, the Leader in Me Club, the club day, you all help supply that with the supplies and things that we need. And that's about $1,000. So $7,000 altogether is what I'm asking for Monroeville Elementary.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to see that initiative. we do everything we can to try and support it, because I think, you know, the question is always is, even with a child, what's in it for me? You know, we'll be able to go from there. Okay, anybody have any questions?
Great job.
Thank y'all, appreciate it. Thank y'all for being patient with us.
Oh, yes, sir,
No
thank you.
problem. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
All right,
You'll have a good night.
thank you.
Now,
One,
where
two.
we can go.
21,250. Is that the
Oh.
total?
Well, I just
Summer school,
did the
yes, ma'am, they end
9,000
June 30th.
for the
Yes, ma'am.
Chromebook. But I didn't read the computer.
Thank you.
I didn't know. The computer lab, they're talking about 20 screens. I didn't know, if y'all wanted to do that.
I know most definitely we need those Chromebooks.
Do you think the Chromebooks are-
More important than the
Yes.
lab.
Yes.
I'll
Is
just do
when they have to
9,000.
do those testing and different things
Yeah.
like that, you know, they bring the Chromebooks to
Mhm.
the classroom. And the ones you gotta look at, the old ones that they had are obsolete now, and then the
Yeah.
ones that we use for COVID. So every kid had a Chromebook. And you know, every kid didn't take care of the book
No.
like they were supposed to.
No.
So you gotta come up with a new round of testing, so you need to have those computers.
Yeah.
So I think the first priority would be those Chromebooks
Okay.
versus just that computer lab.
Yeah.
Was it, that'd be 21,250?
Yeah, I just put 9,000 for the Chromebooks and then the 5250 for the career tech and then 7,000 from the elementary school.
That's not much over last year, I'd say.
Amanda, did you
21.
get a letter from the junior high school from? You
Mhm.
haven't gotten one, okay.
I can go see who's up there.
Who is Monroe County Education Foundation? Are they part of it?
That's normally, I forgot her name, but she normally just comes and asks because it's a trailer that she has.
Mhm.
And she just asks for money to go towards supplies. She takes the.
Miss
trailer.
Lee, Carolyn Lee, and Pete Black. do that.
Yeah, Pete used to come.
Yeah.
He brings it out to the school and they give teachers supplies.
That's just supplies.
Yeah, like pencils, pens, sanitation stuff,
Yeah. I didn't see, anything.
paper towels, and stuff like that.
So next up is Monroe County Extension Service.
They did send a little letter. They said they wouldn't be here, so I will read that. It says, Dear Mayor Andrews, Monroe County Youth Leadership is truly grateful to you and the city of Monroeville for supporting our program. Without your support, this program would not be successful as it is. Due to COVID-19, our program was limited. In the past years of youth leadership, we have had some of the best and brightest young people in the county. To continue educating our future leaders, we are asking for $8,000 funding appropriation by the city council. We are very excited about conducting this program in the 2021-2022 school year and look for the continued support from the city of Monroeville. And that's from Mike McQueen and Ethel Stanley.
Okay, where are they are they in the ABC budget?
Yeah, they're in the ABC, sorry.
6882.
Yeah.
That's the one Mr. Williams used to do, isn't it?
Uh-huh. I forgot that. Do
That's
you
what he
remember
would
that?
get every year, 8,000.
He had a program. I forgot the name.
4-H.
No, it wasn't with 4-H. It was something, he always had those kids and he would every quarter make them go do stuff.
Oh, the leadership program.
Leadership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Monroe County Extension Service.
Let's see. I can see if RSVP's out there, 'cause it's 305. They may be.
Mr. McQueen came out of, I know he came out of retirement. Somebody my dad had hired years ago.
It's another man that got it, but he's sick.
Well, we're back on schedule. Ahead of schedule.
What time is it? Is that?
3:05.
3:05.
How many more we gotta do?
We got halfway through.
What time's the meeting?
I was gonna do it at
3:30.
3:30, Anthony will be here. So we might can do it quick.
Yeah. We need RSVP. You think somebody-
Yeah, sent these questions there.
Hello, how
Hey, how you doing?
Good evening. How are you today?
We good, how about you all?
Good, good.
you meant over here? Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
because she said you're behind.
You probably need to sit back and keep it straight.
Now, Mr. Hines,
Don't get out of arms, free.
now you know it's not that bad.
I like y'all new office over there.
You have come to see, you got to come and visit us.
That's nice.
We-
I, want- you know, that building wasn't being used.
Jane, I didn't recognize you with that bag.
It's me, how you doing?
Yeah, that's a good use for that building.
Yes, we are thoroughly enjoying.
Ain't been over there since one of my youngins had to go down and get shot. Is
My first job was at the other.
that her? I guess it was the oldest,
Oh, okay.
a long time ago.
Yes. How long y'all been in it?
It's one.
Since Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every day, we got started at 1 today.
Every day.
Yeah, but
Not early. Last year was early than this, right?
Yeah, we did in June because of the election.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank y'all for coming. Now, as we've gone through and as with a lot of the other agencies, I realized that 2021 was an exceptional year with all of the challenges and everything that y'all had to face in doing RSVP. And just quickly, if you got a success story, I would, with all of the things that y'all have done and the activities that y'all have had, I know y'all got one.
Well, I feel like we have plenty of them, but some of the main ones that we have are the people that we assisted with wheelchair ramps. A lot of them were called and needed ramps in order to get in and out of their home to be able to go to the doctor. And a couple of them didn't even have accessibility as far as coming home from the nursing home until they got a wheelchair ramp built. And a lot of them, I should have brought some of the thank you cards that we were sent, thanking us for doing this for them and making it these of our assistance available to them where they didn't have to go into the nursing home.
Right. I do know, yeah, I can speak from experience when they were doing the COVID testing. I don't know how many RSVP volunteers that you had out there, but from my observation, y'all helped in making that operation go through very smoothly. And how did y'all kind of have it set up?
Well, I would do, Miss Andrews, she would, we would correspond with our EMA and he would let us know the dates. And she would tell me, we got to have blah, blah, many, volunteers out there. So I would call and ask them if they were available. Of course, everybody that I asked, they were, they were willing, they were glad to go out, come and help with the inclement weather. We were out there in the rain, cold, freezing. So we basically just called them and let them know, that we were having a cleaning and what days and if they were available to come. And I don't remember anybody turning us down because they were able to come. And I know a lot of them was, and they had helped themselves, but they didn't, never did say no.
And I do know this year it was a challenge. RSVP usually does around Christmas time that they would do a dinner or something like that. I don't know exactly how y'all handled it this year. I wasn't able to participate, but y'all were successful with that.
We did our Christmas dinner this year. It was drive-through.
Okay.
And the volunteers, we prepared the food ourselves. And I think we did like over 400 plates, to-go plates, along with our PPE items that we had in bags. And we given them bags of groceries. We partnered with Piggly Wiggly to do this. And they gave us bags of groceries that was already bagged up. And along with that, and we gave them a bag of groceries, the PPE items that we had, which was mask, sanitizer, disinfectant, and all that in bags, along with a good hot plate of food to go.
Very good. I don't know that my last observation that I've seen, and I had the opportunity to talk with Mr. Black about it, was food bank. And I guess y'all are still involved with it.
Yes, sir. We are still doing the food bank every month. We have about 15 volunteers that come out every month and help us get the food out bagged up, and then we have we have the men's outside that will, pick the boxes, our bags, and we have to swab the, clients. And the ladies, most of us stay inside and bag it up. And we have volunteers at the big boxes that are too heavy for us to get lifted, to put on tables to get it out. They will come in, but we are still doing that every first Tuesday each month.
Right. And I was looking at over here where it says, you made mention of the funds needed, and you said the remaining balance, I guess, for this $7,500 is $585.65 as of July 9th. It looks like you expect to expend those funds before the end of the fiscal year, based on this.
Yes, sir.
So as you go back and you look at what you're requesting for the 21-22 budget, is the amount still the 7,500?
Yes, sir. We know guess we should have asked for more.
We would
but know-
appreciate more, but we.
Y'all didn't take lessons from all these other folks.
And
You should have got with them. They all want more.
We might need to get him some more.
Well, we appreciate
We
it.
surely would appreciate it.
Because like on some of our expenses, especially with the wheelchair ramps, we used city money, but some of the bills that we still had, we did not use city money. We had to go out and get other monies to build, like pay for labor. We just use city money to get the supplies, and of course, the supplies have gone up. Like and matter of fact, we got a couple of wheelchairs pending now. And I'm basically trying to wait until we, got a director, but we may have to go on and get them done, before we get anything else in place. But like I say, everything is so high.
Yeah. Do y'all have a suggested amount of increase?
10,000.
Well,
We like that too.
So y'all make the decision on it.
Well, I know supplies. I mean, you go to buying that supplies to build those ramps, they probably costing you
Triple.
50% more
Yes,
at
sir.
least.
Yes, sir. And the last one, like I said, we want to have one pending. And of course, we went over there, they live over in Franklin, and from what we were thinking that we're gonna be spent on a wheelchair ramp is, so like I say, it's pending right now, because we know we didn't have the money right now, to okay it. So.
You think we can give them 10?
Well, we'll put that number in. And
I put in 10 and then we'll
See where we
go
are.
from there.
Also, I want to compliment them on helping me with the census.
Oh.
They were very cooperative, ready to help. Anytime I had a meeting, anything to be done. And they did a really good job, and I hope that helped in trying to maintain the number we have in Alabama. I don't know about Monroe County yet in the city. We really, really worked hard in trying to get the census done.
It paid off because we did not lose representation in Congress.
How many volunteers do y'all have?
Right now, I have we have 154 on the roster, but of course, we have lost some due to health reasons. And I don't know exactly how we're trying to maintain them, all the nutrition center have been closed. And I don't know exactly yet how many is gonna come back. I know I lost one in Denver from there. I think we might have had one at the nutrition center here in my local, but right now we have 154 on the road. And I hope we'll be able to maintain it, at least maybe 5 or something. And I think we have 11 that is under the age of 55. They go, they are friends to someone of the age, so we are able to count their volunteer hours. Okay. So, we're gonna have to get out and try to recruit some more, hopefully,
You have to be a certain age in order to.
55.
Okay.
Any more questions?
We qualify. We well qualified.
Thank
We
you all for coming.
overqualified.
Have a good day.
All right.
We don't have any insurance. See.
You want me to see if the
If the
hospital's
hospital
up?
here, we can get them, after us, we'll be a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
We can do our special session, I don't think. I don't think it'll take long. First thing I do is I just bring in, Ms. Hunt, yeah, bring her in, introduce y'all to the council and everything. I sent out her resume and all that yesterday, for everybody to take a look at. Yeah.
I got I talked to, David Stewart called me and, the lady that works for him. She had been talking to somebody down in Mobile about, that recycles electronics. They said anything to you about it?
Yeah, and when they said it, I'm getting ready to go into the budget hearings and stuff, but I'm hoping gonna have some time freed up next week, because we got a bunch of stuff the city had.
Well, I'm on, Pat, the lady that works for him. I told her to send it to the District 5, and she, to my email, all the information, and she left the district off. So I'm supposed to get it back today.
Okay.
So when I get it, I'll send it to you,
Okay.
and maybe I thought maybe that's something Emily Martin and some of those folks.
Yeah, because Don had been working with them, and they had come up with a person too. But according to this, they're taking it as a donation. It won't cost us anything. From what I understood.
The one you
talking about.
that I was talking, I don't know. Like I said, David didn't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah.
And when I talked to her, she said, she'd send me that information. So I should have had it a week ago, but I got to looking for it, and got in contact with him. They told him I didn't get it. So come to find out, she didn't do the email right. But as soon as I get it, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And then if you want to send it on to Emily or
Yeah.
or whoever there, she did say there's a couple of things they wouldn't take, and
They want take TVs with Tuesday.
that, yeah. And she had said something about they would provide a container of some sort, but now I'd like to say, I don't.
What about the couches and different things like that?
We're gonna try it again this Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Where about?
Be a public work. But now I'm gonna tell you, people have not taken advantage of it, and I only had 90 days to count it, no expense. And if they not take advantage of it, I don't have to discontinue it. So,
So they take couches, sinks, and different things like that? I built that in the morning. I got a shed I gotta clean out. My mom and my wife, between both of them, they just put stuff in that shed and you can't get in.
The hospital wasn't here, but Miss Tamika Hunt's here.
Okay.
If y'all wanted to,
Yeah.
if you want to talk to her a little bit.
Hello, how are you, Ms. Hunt?
Sorry. You can sit down there, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
They don't mind. That's good.
Do I need to go get my mask?
We got it.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, we have gone through all of the applications, of the top three. The one, was from up in Anderson, and that person went back, and for whatever reason, they withdrew. And so they're not coming. The other individual, has already taken the job with the Escambia County Board of Education. When we went through and rated, Ms. Hunt was in the top three and came in, and everybody did an interview process with them. We were in consensus with the qualification of resume that she had the capability of doing the job. So she will be the committee's recommendation. I want to give her an opportunity to come before the council in case you guys had any questions or anything of that nature.
We're just happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Yes, ma'am.
And if I can help you in a way, you let me know.
Yes.
I just want to say how proud I am of you. You started to make me feel old now. I got some gray in my beard, but I'm so proud and elated that you went off to school and you did great. You got your master's, you've been in the military. And it's just good to know that we can get y'all to come back home and just not leave and just,
Yes, sir.
It's good to come back home. I'm just so proud of
Thank you.
Mr. Hines, yeah.
I don't even know.
Okay. Well, as and that was one of the reasons, because I've been talking with Amanda. And Amanda has a load on her. And as soon as we can get through to get someone in that position, we can start the training process, and there'll be some things that I think that, with her background, that she'll be able to do immediately.
Yeah.
And, that will help us to be able to start moving through and the process of moving forward. So, when well, if the hospital's not there, we probably can go ahead and start the special session early.
Well, since we said 3:30 and it is a
3:30, yeah,
special,
yeah,
we gotta wait
yeah.
till 3:30.
All right. Because the only other two things on there, is contract with Frontier and the contract with EGA for the.
Try.
Okay, so
Did Anthony say he was coming?
Anthony said he get about 3:30.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know we went back and we asked for some other things. One was what she called the Zoom. And we will verify the schools that she attended, she provided the information. Before I can actually go through and do a background check, I have to give you a conditional offer of employment. And then that way you can go through and sign the release form and things of that nature. So, that would be a thing that when we go in special session, I'll be bringing to the council to make the conditional offer of employment. And at that point, once that happens, and we start the background, we'll come back in and, before the actual hire date, we will discuss compensation. Okay. If it's approved by the council, pass the background, where you are is, do you need time to give notice?
Yes, sir. I have to give them 2 weeks notice.
2 weeks notice?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if this works through, we can hopefully have it done by the end of the month.
And do I need to give a copy or?
We'll get copies later. Are there any questions that you have for our company?
I'm just happy to be here, honestly. I was waiting. When you called me, I was like, oh man, I'm nervous now.
I actually went through and I've already talked to references that you provided. And the comments back from them is great leadership, especially dealing with some of the younger folks that are coming into the military.
Yes.
And, to get them on track and move forward. And, they even have a recommendation that you should, because you're a staff sergeant now, a recommendation that you should be a candidate for officer candidate.
I'm actually applying for that right now, trying commission. I'm gonna go through a board with them.
Would that be a direct commission, or would it be a X number of months school, or?
It'll be a direct commission. I won't have to go to school for it. They'll actually train me there at the base. So whenever I go for drill, that's when they'll do it. Yes, ma'am. It sounds familiar. So there's 2 sets of hunts. So some are in Purdue Hill, and then my side is in Vinburg, in Franklin. But a lot of people get us confused because there was a hunt that actually contacted me from Purdue Hill. He was like, hey, I'm your cousin. I was like, I don't know. I have to ask my grandma. Yeah. I just recently learned that it was 2 sets. Yeah.
And how long have you been in the military?
Next year will be 6 years.
What do you make drill?
I do it like once a weekend every month. So it's usually like the beginning of the month, unless they choose to do it
Yeah, I did
otherwise.
it for 20-something years, so
I'm trying to do it for 20 so I can retire.
best insurance in the world.
It does. That TRICARE is great.
Ain't beat it.
Yes, ma'am.
The TRICARE.
Mhm.
It is.
I
My
went,
brother,
I may have told
that's what
y'all,
my brother had.
when I went to Dr. Bird's,
Mhm.
I do Express Scripts. Well, he wrote out a prescription. And I don't know why he did, because he was sending some to Express Script. I said, I go by Walgreens, and if it's not much, I just go and pay it, you know?
Yes, sir.
I gave it to that lady and I said, how much is that? She said, $400. I said, no, I'll do it for $10. I don't want that bad. But I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
I had 4 years active and 24 in the guard.
I think Ricky thought something.
Best thing in the world.
Yeah.
Which branch are you in?
Army.
The Army? That's good.
He's an airport.
Yes,
You
sir.
got any questions for Ms. Hunt?
No,
Nice to see you again.
I'm just glad you're trying to move back to Monroe.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for somebody young.
Well, I've traveled a lot now.
Yeah.
It seems.
No, no one else showed up, so. If y'all wanna go in there and have it. Yeah, we're gonna go in there. You can go through that door right there.
Do we have an agenda? I guess?
Oh, yes. I didn't give you one. I printed it off, though.
Okay. That's right.
Well, I have to get this one for everyone to sign,
Right.
but here's this one.
Corporation for the use of the quantity soil office bill. I think we're going through and Turner has reviewed the lease. He's very good with it. And I would ask if there's a motion to approve the lease for the Monroe County Community Development Corporation for the quantity soil office bill. Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda is to approve a contract with Frontier for data services. It is a 5-year contract that basically will save the city money at $690 a month for each. And I think it's recommended by, Information Technology Consultant, Mr. Sam Yarborough. Do I have a motion to approve the contract with Frontier?
So moved.
Been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is to introduce our city clerk candidate, Mr. Lisa Hunt. And I would like to offer a conditional offer of employment, and background check to bring this Tamika Hunt on as city clerk for the city of Monroe. Do I have a motion to offer a conditional offer of employment? Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay. There being no further business, the city council of the city of Monroe. Do I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? All in favor? Thank you.
No, it was just, used. That right. Don't sound familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know what you, I gave it to you, sorry.
Well, I talked to He used to.
Yes. 3:30, yeah, 3:32. We were already here. Sometimes they're fast and sometimes they're not, but we do need to issue a sign piece of paper for it. Okay, you got it. Yes.
I don't know if that's done or not, but
We
whenever.
got, we extended conditional offer of employment
Wonderful, congratulations.
and, send background check and everything. Get them.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Excuse me.
Hey, Darlene, sorry I missed the meeting. I was gonna be here to explain Lee, so I got this, so if you want.
It has to be signed by Billy Jones.
Oh, Billy
So
Jones.
he's the chairman and I.
Okay.
Over in that minute, I
Whenever
gotta
you
go
come
get my
back
dad
next week.
that grant.
And get it signed, at least in the notary. So.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, do that. Okay. Thank
My mom so
you.
mad with it.
Y'all have a
She
great
slipped out,
weekend.
got
How
on
you
one
doing,
more
Frank?
morning. I told her, I said, you must ride, be in that chair, you can't get up, don't say that.
What you get in, sir?
Yeah, back surgery.
The library.
I don't think anyone's gonna.
You got everything. Could I, could I again, like I said, keep it done.
I'm right behind you.
We'll verify, because you gave me the information, so.
Yes, sir.
and I can send
I told my mama, I said, my dad treat me like I'm 16 again.
Thank you.
Hey, boy, do this, hey, boy, do this.
Hey,
Hey, you know,
boy.
you doing it like that. You ain't doing it
You
right,
ain't
son.
doing it right, don't you?
Can't never do that right, man.
No, you ain't gonna do it right.
No.
Mine tell you the same thing. One time, this
The folks on the Montana Education Foundation, we have everybody here. So this year, I didn't have a letter from.
I got it.
Hey,
Of course, you know him, he was talking way to somebody.
So here's, can we give these to you or just hand them out?
Oh, you just hand them out? That'd be
Embarrassed.
fine.
He ain't never let me live that day. I said, you ain't right. I can't do it right, can't I?
I know I can. My mama said, you know,
You doing all right?
if you don't say you did something right, then, you know.
Well, thank you for asking.
We just have to kind of dial it back the best we can.
Yeah, I'm used to it now. I've had 41 years of it. I take it as a term of endearment.
That's what both of mine would say. I try not to though.
Here's you one and here's Ellen.
Okay.
And we're missing, okay, we just passed her. Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 of us in here right now. 5 with me.
We on the ABC
Okay.
still.
Okay, I'll put it in instead of stuff.
Hey, where do you want me to be with my little?
You can just stand
This
up
is
right there.
Sharon Hall Jones. She's one of our board members.
All righty.
Yeah.
We'll give this to Alicia. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah.
I try my best not to say anything. Sometimes you just can't.
I think one of the first times my wife said she ever heard my daddy curse was I was doing something. And he gave me a nickname when I was little. He don't call me King, he called me my nickname. And she was like, Mr. Roby, what did you just say? And he felt so bad. He felt like he was dead beat.
I bet.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming. And as we've been going through, you know, everybody's had some challenging times this year, especially with COVID. And, you know, we like to hear good success stories. If y'all got a success story, you know, we're ready for it.
Okay, we do. Hi, I'm Angie Snyder. I am the director of the Monroe County Public Library. Thank you for inviting us to talk about what we do with the money that the city gives us. So real quick, I want y'all to see where we are from last year. If you look at the spreadsheet with the yellow at the bottom, probably like page 3 past the letters. And so you'll see that the city funded us $30,000, which we asked for to put toward utilities, personnel, elevator, and insurance. That's exactly where that money went. We still have August and September in our fiscal year. That money will totally be expended by the end of our fiscal year, by September 30th. Underneath is the ABC. We asked for money from the ABC fund in the amount of $10,100. We initially thought we were going to get a 40 by 40 outdoor tent. It turns out a 40 by 40 was way too complicated for the director of the library and the volunteers we had available to sort of raise up. So we ended up getting 2 10 by 20s, which gives us almost the same amount of square footage under a tent, but it's way more manageable and it was a lot less expensive. So what we did was we moved the $4,500 that we were going to put on the tent and got a really nice storage building. We just kind of flipped that budget amount over, stay within our $10,100. So we have a new nice storage building, which we had said we would get anyway, behind the library. We are also going to put a camera from the library security system facing that storage building. And it actually sits in the parking lot adjacent to the Bruton home behind the library. So it'll be extra security to the side of their home, to the parking lot, which the library owns, which also the state troopers use in the offices, the little old hotel building next to us. So we're going to put that as part of this money as well, to put the camera on that building. We did buy the tables and chairs, and we used those during our summer reading program. The city, was kind enough to loan us fans for summer reading. However, it rained every day. So we went to Plan B, which was hosted upstairs at the library. So we appreciate the fans that we didn't use, and we returned them back to Public Works. But we are looking toward an outdoor event in the fall, so where we'll use our new tents for that as well. So this coming year, it's the next spreadsheet is not gonna have yellow on it, it's still gonna be with the green. This coming year, we're still asking for the same $30,000 that we've been funded in the most recent years. And we will apply that toward utilities and personnel. For the ABC fund, we wanted to make sure that we spent the money wisely on a program that would reach, as we're supposed to, everyone in the county, in our service area. We have an amazing genealogy department in the library. It's kind of our unsung hero. So in the volunteer, Ms. Jones here does it as well as another volunteer, and they donate about 60 hours a month toward helping people find their family trees, where they're from, where their relatives are buried in and around Monroe County. And when I say in and around, of course, original settlers of our area didn't know, well, Wilcox is right there and Conecuh's right there. So some of it bleeds over into our surrounding counties. But all that to say that we have an enormous amount of information on microfiche, old census documents, copies of birth certificates, marriage, death certificates, and quite a bit of that is on microfiche. And I don't know if you guys remember using that, like the last time I used it, other than this was like in high school in like the 80s. But all this information is stored on it, and we have a machine that we're using that's pretty archaic. And so we need a new one. And the reason we don't have a new one is because they are extremely expensive. The one that we found that we would like to buy is $6,800. It is what it is. That's what they cost. To get a used one, they're around $3,000, and then we don't know how long that $3,000 investment is going to last us in the long run. So part of the ABC money that we're asking for this year, and we did total it at $10,000 as opposed to $10,100 for our ask this year, would be for that microfilm reader. It's a printer, a scanner, so that when the film comes by, they can shoot a picture, print it, and take it with them, which I think is way what we need. Right now, we're having to like sort of make notes. It's really, like I said, it's pretty archaic. We're also asking for a Smart Tank Plus printer. These are wireless, and I like this one because the ink comes in little bottles and you can refill it. No throwing away cartridges, it's really super easy to do. This equipment is going to be available not only for our volunteers and staff, but for the public. Anyone can use our genealogy room. And so it's my goal to put something in there that is durable, easy to access, and easy to use. And so that's why I chose these items. We want an HP desktop with 32 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of storage. Why? Because pictures take up so much storage room. Y'all all know that. Our phones fill up so fast with pictures. A lot of what we have is picture documentation. So we need a tower that will house that. And that's going to be some terabytes of storage to be able to do what we want to do with this. We use ancestry.com. And there's my train of thought went away. It's a historical, what is the war? That Steve's able to, ma'am? Fold 3, right. And that also takes up a lot of storage space. So he's able to track people's military records and help families find out what their ancestors did. Of course, we need a monitor because this one tower doesn't come with a monitor. It's just a tower. And then the miscellaneous software, plugs, a surge protector, the things to make it work. And that really is right at $10,000. And so that's what I was asking for ABC, and that's the breakout of what, and it would be used specifically for that, for genealogy. How about good news? Good news is we haven't closed during COVID. We stayed open. We altered our service to meet people at the curb. If they needed something printed, they could email it to a designated email to the library or print it and take it out to them. We have continued to do our art classes for our adults and teens. Our teen art classes is a partnership we do with the Children's Policy Council through Judge Silcox's office. So kids who were considered at risk before COVID, the idea was tossed around about let's give them something to do. Well, then we realized during COVID, everybody was at risk. All the kids are, because what are they going to do? They're not going to school. So we basically opened it up to 12 to 18-year-olds. And we have an average of between 10 and 13 kids every other Thursday night from 5:30 to 6:30 at the library painting. They come, they create a picture, doesn't cost them or their parents anything, and they take home something beautiful. We know where they are, we know they're safe. While they're there, we talk with them about the importance of regular attendance at school, about not talking to strange people you don't know on the internet, things that kids need to have sort of reinforced. While I know their parents do that for them, they talk to us on a different level than they do their parents. So I feel like we're reaching these children who, like I said, may be at risk because they've been home alone, which I think that's pretty good news. We have, I'm not going to read you 3 pages of stuff that we've done for the last year, but we've really held some pretty interesting, Native American art exhibits. We had our Listening to the Past, Speaking to the Future in February with led by Cynthia Tucker, the interviews. I hope you guys saw those. Those were really, really wonderful educational interviews. We have a volunteer that we dressed up as the Cat in the Hat, and he went and knocked on the windows at Monroe Manor, just bringing some sunshine to our elderly neighbors over there. We go out to daycares, preschools, Excel, Miss Patty Pat, the Academy, and take the little preschoolers little snacks and read a story to them. And it's kind of funny because now when I come, they don't ask me what I'm reading, they ask me what I bring them. But they know who I am, they know I'm at the library, so that's a really good thing. We had 35 kids that came to our summer reading program. Summer reading we had, and there's a breakout of highlights. We had the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo come, the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo come. They brought a snake and a turtle and a macaw, and all the kids got to pet, the snake and the turtle. Unlike my dad's generation where there were animals at home, farm animals, our kids now don't see those. So Miss Annette West brought animals from her farm. So the kids got to pet baby pigs, baby goats, kittens, and bunnies, things that, they don't normally get to see. We had 2 local authors come and speak to the children. My son's an author, and Miss Keandra Richardson is an author, and they came and talked to the kids about writing their own story, which I think is important in Monroeville because that's really what we're all doing. We're all writing our own story. We're looking at what's going on around us, and we're changing the world for the better collectively. And the library's mission is to encourage lifelong learning. My mission is to make it fun. So I appreciate all y'all to help us. Like I said, it's pretty detailed, the letter, but if you have any questions for me, I'd love to clarify something or.
How many staff members do you have?
Ma'am?
How many staff members do you have?
I'm full-time, me. Mr. William Johnson is full-time. He's our circulation specialist. We have a part-time circulation clerk and a housekeeper right now. And we have a position open for an outreach coordinator, which is part-time. It's been open for like 4 days.
How much funding do you get from the county?
From the county, we get 42.5, I believe. And they help us pay half of our utilities. So the county is very gracious and kind to the library.
So what you're asking for is 10,000 out of the agency fund.
Yes, sir.
And Amanda, the 30,000.
Yeah, out of the general.
Out of the
fund.
general fund. Yes, sir.
Basically the same as
And that's what we got.
$100 less than last year.
Exactly, because I can do it for a little bit less, and I can do it for a little bit less.
Well, the inspiration, let's put that $100 back in there. We'll do the same we did last year, 10,100.
Okay, thank you. That's wonderful. We'll get screen protectors. No joke. An expense that none of us saw coming this year was PPE. And I see you guys have masks. We've been through so many masks and so much hand sanitizer. The keyboard covers. We've had the library professionally sanitized. And so we're actually, and I'm looking for new and more creative ways to bring additional monies in, because when we set our budget last year, that wasn't in there. We've had to adjust and make it work. So again, I really appreciate what the city does, because without y'all, we couldn't do it. We really could not do what we have to do. And it is, having a library right here in Monroe is so vital, particularly to new people moving in. And we want to be a standout organization. When they call the chamber and say, what are your schools like? What's your library? Tell me about banks and real estate. We want, them to say, oh, our library does all these programs. It's not just books. And we want to be a draw to people coming to town. So we can't do it without y'all. And we really appreciate you backing us.
Thank you.
So Ms. Tucker was just volunteer, Ms. Tucker.
I'm
Ms.
sorry.
Tucker. Ms. Tucker, she used to work at.
Miss Tucker just left.
Oh, she did.
Yes, ma'am. She left on the 30th.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions? Council?
Good.
No? Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's short. This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can just pull it. Mhm.
Okay. Oh, that's the wrong way.
Okay.
Oh, okay, we got another one, yeah.
I'm behind that other.
Okay. Health Foundation.
She said she was not gonna be able to make it, and I told her I'd reschedule her.
Okay, Veterans Reform Award, we have a schedule, they may not be here yet.
Yeah.
Well, whoever shows up next, that's who's good.
All right.
Okay. We still got enough. We take coming, man. No, this time you get tough on Friday.
Well, I got
They got off at lunch. You see my vote to him.
I got a grand youngin at the house and I got tried to satisfy, which was unexpected. He was supposed to go, this was a weekend, he was supposed to stay with his other granddad. He passed away, so.
But I got 3 from them tomorrow.
Delicious. Guy told me one time, he said, sir, I never thought with my grandkids that I'd be glad to see them tail lights. He said, I am sometimes. Well, that's like we come out, with your parents and all. That would be something, when they were little, we'd be somewhere eating. And one of them be doing something, and I'd tell my oldest son, Dad, can you imagine what would have already happened to me? I said, yeah, but this is different. See y'all.
I text Michael and about that mulching grant at the Veterans Park. He said that they weren't gonna be able to come in until September or October to get that completed. So I'll have to put that money back in then. So I think it was something with the grant. It was taking them long to get all that stuff in.
So if they get here with it and do it in September, then we don't have to carry over to next.
Right.
But if they don't get it done by September, they'll carry it.
Over. Mhm.
What did we normally, were they asking for anything else, or they come out of ABC fund?
Yeah, they're just out of the ABC fund and, normally when they come in, it's 5,000 and normally it's something with something in the hospital. And I guarantee it's probably gonna be something with COVID related that they're gonna need. And they just try to help out. I know they were giving it to the, in the past, they were giving it to the ER building.
So they don't receive funding?
Who is it?
The middle school?
The middle
It was a
school?
letter last year, she sent.
Well, she came last year because she had her foot broken. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but I guess I can get up with, I can call her Monday and see if anything, because I didn't get no letter. Don't
So if
say
they don't come, whatever you gave them the previous year, you do it again this year?
it depends on y'all. Y'all don't have to give anything at all, or I'd have to look and see if, let's see, the middle school, she had 6. She needed some, I don't even know what this is. Anyway, some for a journalism class. And then additional raised beds for the 5th and 6th grade science classes and a hydroponic phonics system. And she said that includes a pump, PVC pipe, building materials for wooden stand and supplies. So I think that was all for her science teachers, it looks like.
No, okay, I was just wondering, because everybody else has showed up, and I didn't know how it worked.
I can give her a call Monday and see if she can give me a letter to see what she's actually needing.
The same thing, Coach Wood, we just called.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You can get some more Chromebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been a big help. for me on that Chromebook.
Yeah, and just like I said, that ROTC program, she should have asked for a little bit more. She was trying to be modest, but that's, to see those kids dressed up like that, they take pride in it. Like they do, you can see them, chest stuck out, it makes them feel good, but it's just so expensive. And
Yeah,
we
we
get
just
everybody
can't.
in the county. Yeah, so I teach everybody in the county. So I get the Excel, JUB, and JF Shields all in the same class, along with Monroe County High School. So,
I remember she came one time, but she asked for the salaries and ABC can't support salaries,
yeah.
but we can support uniforms. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, like I said, it's a great program, especially when you get some of those kids that need that certain type of guidance. See what I'm saying? Try to redirect that negative energy into something positive. Then that would kind of draw in other kids that might be headed down that path. So the more the merrier.
Just to let y'all know, I was talking with Amanda and we're setting up the ideally top 3 for that other position in there. Hopefully next week if everything gets
The payroll.
Been working on payrolls all week. I have plans for tomorrow, but I'll have to come in on Sunday and finish those.
we already have it. Yeah, it's been there to cut off is July 2nd.
July 2nd, yeah.
And the only reason we didn't start this week is that when she had payroll due on. So
With the new pay rate.
it's been in there.
Yeah, it was in there. Oh, yeah.
Have you gotten any candidates?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've already closed it.
Gotta get
Top 3.
The top 3.
We went through and looked at the qualifications and everything on it. And we're gonna look at the top 3. See what it goes from there. I've asked for, like with Tamika, I asked for performance evaluation. I asked them to bring 3 references.
Mhm. And we have a busy week next week because we have the town hall meeting with,
From Jerry Call.
yeah, and it's at 11.
Right.
Yeah,
And
Monday.
Monday is 11.
And then we'll meet with Mr. Scott on Thursday.
Mhm.
And then we start our performance appraisals training Thursday and
Thursday
Friday.
afternoon.
And Friday.
That's fine. Well, he wants to meet with myself and Amanda first.
Mhm.
And then once we come through from there, he's gonna conduct what he calls a needs assessment. And before he comes back and meet with the council, because I told him we have people that work and everything else, he'll probably have a questionnaire that he's gonna email to everybody. Y'all can fill that out, send it back to him, he'll compile it, and then we'll come back, and that's when he'll meet with the council. So we might have to have a special work session to do that once he gets all that information.
Yeah.
we're behind schedule now, we're made up.
And we had a meeting in between.
That, the living part is not.
Come on.
You had to go to work, then? What time you went?
You see nobody out there? I think, Veterans Reform Board, Bill 7. I think it was the 415. That's why it's so important. If you're on time, you're 15 minutes late.
I called Anne Marie and she said that she's gonna step over here. She was gonna do the DRA.
Okay. Yes, we can do that. And then we only got the museum and Michelle, DFW.
Yeah. But yeah, no one showed up out there so far, so I called her and she said that she'd walk around over here.
The first told I sold it. Said you did, and I told I did. I got a strange look. You know, if our COVID cases keep going up, I think we're gonna have to go back to mass mandatory.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it down to 19? I haven't gotten one today. I thought yesterday said 19, but I deleted it.
Yeah.
I know it had went down a little bit, but it was still up. I mean, that's still up.
Yeah, they have. I don't think it got in the nursing home, but it hit several employees. Yeah.
I think it's because of the new variant.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's what it is. But there was, Linda was telling me about, it was nursing and it wasn't feeling good. She went in and tested positive. They sent her back home.
Right.
When she started feeling bad, she didn't go to work. But when she did go down and go to work, we told her to send her back home. Then there was somebody that, and her family that worked there, she was exposed, they sent them back.
They won't make it mandatory. They can't do that.
They can't do
Yeah, I
that.
got a lot of folks, I I got a lot of folks right now, since we're having the drone. Everybody was talking about, when I took the shot, they didn't have a drone, how come I can't? Well, you know, had the shot. So, you know, this is to try and get our numbers up. I appreciate Mr. Landigger doing it, you know, it's not a city project, it's not a county project.
That's his project.
Yeah, that's his project. You know, I support him in doing it, because I don't want to see nobody get sick, you know. And this stuff is no joke, because these people going around thinking they feeling perfectly fine, but it causes blood clot. And that blood clot breaks loose, if it goes through your lung and your heart, that's it.
Most people be saying they don't know what's in the, I said, you don't know what's in the medicine, you're taking it, and you don't know what's in it.
All vaccines,
All vaccines.
they're manufactured from, you know, a dead, like in this case, they took the RNA out of the COVID virus. And that's what they made the vaccine from. And it doesn't matter, even if it's like flu shot, you know, that's the same thing. It's an inert. Thank you, man.
How are you? And I'll leave these other copies for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's me again. The newly elected president or chair of DRA is Stuart Richardson. He's been on the redevelopment authority for a number of years. And the newly elected co-chair is Bradley Martins. Both are out of town. And I am the appointed secretary treasurer. I do not vote. I just take the minutes and I'm the rule follower. And make sure that we follow all the rules. So on behalf of the chair and the co-chair, they are respectfully requesting $10,000, which is what the allocation was last year. Currently, we have 4 outstanding DRA grants. One is a $2,000 grant. We do 2 of those a year. And that one, the project has recently just finished. That's Becoming Wellness Spa. They redid the entire front of the store after the hurricane damage. Most of their insurance money was spent on the roof and the interior of the store. They had a great deal of damage. The other one was the front renovation of Bonehead Boots. And that one also massive storm damage, but they took that back to a more historic storefront. So that was the 2 $2,000 grants. And then we have a number of $1,000 grants. We have 4 of those outstanding. And we have done 4 this year. So it's been a really good year for DRA. These grants really do help businesses when they do things like signs, like Miss Teresa's has applied for one for her sign grant. We now offer them for the front of buildings and the back, now that the fronts are really getting all fixed up. And then our hope is that we will have one more DRIG grant. We only do 1 of those a year. And of course, those are voted on by the council because we had the funding originally to do that. But should any more come up, we'll come to the council. It'll be at a recommendation. And they are working on dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's to get one of those applied for. So that one come soon also.
On the DRIG, that will come before the council. That is a separate 10,000 than what you guys.
It is, and that does not necessarily have to be $10,000. The DRIG grant, Darlene at EDA and I kind of wrote the grant process for that. And the more we got into it, because it was originally written as You spend $100,000 and you get 10 back. And it's a reimbursement grant, just like these are. But I'm always very protective of our existing business owners, the ones that have been contributing tax dollars. And so we put a floor in it of 25,000. So if you are doing a renovation to your business that's $28,000, you can apply for $2,800 back as a 10% grant. And that if you're doing $75,000 work, you can apply for 7,500. But that is separate from this, unless it looks like we're stacking up some money, which we've done in the past. And we had that extra, the first DRIG grant, we wrote the check for because we had the money. But it still had to go in front of the council, and the council had to approve, because that is just not a check we normally write. I do think that these are extremely helpful, and the more that things downtown have gotten fixed up, the more popular they've gotten. I have talked with the mayor on more than one occasion about, at some point, I think it's going to be time to enlarge the DRA district, because if we want the gateway from up South Alabama to really fix up, and the gateway from West Claiborne, we need to give some of those businesses access to this grant, but that's going to be a whole process of expanding the Downtown Redevelopment Authority district. And that'll be something for the council to do. But I do think these grants make a huge difference, because if it's $2,000 and they can apply for 1,000 back, they have to pay the bill, and they have to come and show us, here's the canceled check, here's all my invoices, and somebody from DRA goes and checks, and I write the check, and there's always a second signature.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
There we go.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all calling.
You're gonna worry.
I can. I'm like, y'all on top today.
The ABC fund on the chamber, you know, they gave us that yesterday. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of go.
Yeah, the Chamber of Commerce, she asked for 11,000.
Which one is CRA? Oh, I got it. DRA, so we're down to Hospital Foundation. They're not coming. The VFW, Museum, and Amateur. We're headed down. I thought we were going to end up here about 5:36.
That's what my husband said. He's like, are you gonna get home about 6 again? I don't know, maybe.
Have things about this wine. Yesterday I was on that. Up to the little stores, and I've been listening like that. And last time we had shrimp back, it was big oysters. Yeah, they're right.
What oysters? They got them at the gather too.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. Those are grilled ones. That's so good. Yeah, you order that as an appetizer.
I always like to go to Phoenix because I get to casino and they got the cheese on and chili peppers and all that stuff. And you talk about the grilling. You talk good.
Real good. I didn't think I was gonna like them at first, and then I ate one, and I was like, tried to slide the plate over from Tracy, and she was counting them out. She was like, okay, you can have your field, the rest of them are mine.
See, the old myth used to be you didn't eat oysters for how much they didn't have a heart in it. But the reason was back then they didn't have refrigeration. If you let oysters sit out and go bad, and you
Make
eat
you
that
sick.
stuff, man, they can kill you.
I still don't eat them. They have to have an arm, but I was funny about that. I still,
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You eat them raw?
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
We had what, 2 dozen? Yeah, we had 2 dozen on that trip, man.
you just get some hot
Yeah.
sauce,
And crackers.
hot sauce and crackers, and you put them on there, you can go to town.
I gotta have mine on the
You gotta
grill.
get with the heart.
Now horseradish is good too. Yeah, horseradish is good.
Right, yeah. Well, you see, you eat your nose.
Horseradish, yeah, it's spicy, yeah.
Makes your head hurt. Hey, do you think it would be a big issue with, instead of, I know Career Tech only asked for, Ms. Richardson only asked for 5. Could we give them like the same amount that we did the high school and the elementary school? That could probably potentially buy 5 more uniforms.
Yeah, y'all can give whatever you want, just when this is just preliminary, like
Okay.
just whatever they request. And then
Because I'm
closer-
looking at it as being like, if she's got 40 kids and we can pay for 20, and the state gives us, allocates us money,
Yeah.
then that way it won't cost the kid anything.
Yeah.
So that way you won't have to like pick and choose. Some kids can't afford to, parents
Understand.
can't
Yeah.
afford to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So if we could, look at that, and I'll go back and get a specific number for 20. That way we can pay for half.
I think she said how much they were for each one.
300, yeah.
It was so
So I
much for a
think an extra
boy.
5 would only end up being like $1,400.
Mhm.
So it'll be the same, right along the same price range as the
Yeah,
high
it's just
school.
when we get closer towards September, we can get a definite number on, because see, like, this is the revenue.
Just a wish list like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like so far for the revenue, it's mainly, you're getting it out of your alcohol sales. Well, this is fixing to be the top of the 4th quarter for us. So we've already gotten 180,000 out of the 225.
Okay.
And so if you get that same amount, then we just kind of allocate how much we're expecting, and anything can go up or we can increase anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we can just keep people in Monroeville, if we can keep that dollar optimal, is to circulate that dollar in the community for 21 days.
Mhm.
That's optimal.
Yeah.
If we can keep it in Monroeville for 14 days, see, that's one of the reasons you see our revenue went up. That dollar was staying in Monroeville circulate.
Mhm.
So Florida will stay on Sunday, huh?
Yeah, and then Alicia's good.
Oh, he's killing me.
Alicia's good because we get the sales from the ABC, all the stores that, like the Mexican restaurant, they can go to an ABC store, like an Evergreen, and wherever they're buying from, they have to say where they're buying from and that money comes back to us. And so we get a list from the
Yeah, because
state.
they serve alcohol at those restaurants on Sunday.
Yeah. But if you go, if a business, that's why they promote a business to go to the state ABC board to buy their alcohol. So we get that money back.
They did. But we get those tax dollars.
Oh, yeah, we can all that. We're going, to the state line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it was so many cars that was at that place right there in front of Cannon.
Is the other one down there also, is it open on Sunday? Is that
She
open
said
on
it
Sunday?
wasn't worth it for her.
Lord.
Kill
I
me.
mean,
If it was me, I would know.
but see, she lives in Baldwin County.
Oh,
She doesn't live here. She kind of inherited it. And so she's kept it open. And I don't know if it's her son or her nephew actually runs it for
It's
her.
her nephew.
That's what I was thinking.
They're nice people.
Mhm. But she'll come in, she comes in about once a month and she comes and pays her taxes, so. Mhm. But yeah, she said it wasn't worth it for her to be open on Sunday, because we told her, we're
Yeah,
like, hey,
Everybody needs a
you
break.
you can be open on Sunday. And she's like, no.
Have y'all been to the Hunter's place in Cannon? Have y'all been to the club they have in the back?
Come on in.
yeah, you know, we went to that thing that time with Charles.
Yeah, in the back.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Good, good.
You can just sit right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It looks like we're getting ready to have another blow.
Well, Ms. D, welcome to our budget hearing. We know when you go back and look at 2021, it's been a challenging year because of COVID.
It has.
And, that was one of the things I know y'all had some challenges at the museum, but I know that y'all have done some good things also. So if you just, I don't know how many folks have gone by and actually seen, but if you got a success story that you want to provide to us, we'd be glad to hear.
Well, I brought, I didn't know, thank y'all for having me. And would y'all be more comfortable if I get a mask? Okay, I'm vaccinated.
Okay.
I don't know how many of you are aware, but in January of 2021, we were designated as a U.S. National Historic Landmark. And that makes us one of 39 in the state. So it's a pretty big deal. And I brought you this information just so you could see what we're about. We haven't gotten our plaque yet, and we're also on the Register of National Historic Places. So it separates us from some other things, and it's really good for Monroeville that we have that designation. Mm-hmm. And then our biggest thing, of course, is our visitors. And I just picked some random sheets out of our visitor register from January. I just did 3 different months, so y'all could see where people come from. And we had visitors today. That's just another from Australia and Ohio and Kentucky. I mean, it was just, it's every day, it's getting better, and our numbers are picking up. Since January, we've had 1,239 visitors. And so it's just part of the economic development for the town, as I see it, because they always say, where can we go have lunch? We want to walk to lunch. Mm-hmm. And now it's so good because we got 4 places and we sent some people today to the new place, Miss Teresa. And I went to get our lunch, and they were in there and they were buying the jelly and the jam. And so, if we can just keep it up. And one of the visitors yesterday said, this is your town is so lucky to have this as your face. I thought that's a good image that can be, that the museum, because it is the building's the first thing
really see. So, and I told Mayor Andrews the other day, we're having the literary festival in March, and the college used to do it, and now it is our project to handle, and we're excited about it because we're going to have everything in downtown Monroeville. And it'll just be a really good time to get people here, and we hope they'll say, we don't ever want to miss going there again.
The one thing that I hope that we can get to fruition is new downtown hotel. And because what has happened with the sidewalk grant, we tied in everything all the way down to the bypass. Once it's finished, it ties downtown in with that, and you can walk all the way around up the bypass and back in.
That's great. And that's what people want to do. That's what they want to have, that experience of a small town, and being able to, go where they're staying and eating. And I'm so excited about having 4 restaurants right there. But those are the things, and we've got some other things coming up in the fall, but you all have always been so good to grant us the money that we use for our office. And we try to do as much in-house as we can. And fortunately, we have good machines and good people that know how. I'm not one of them. I can fold and staple, but I'm not creative in that way. But that saves us some money. But we're just appreciative for what y'all do for us.
What was the appropriation last year?
Out of the general fund, we give them 20,000, and that's what they asked for again this year, 20,000.
Okay.
And then we give them money out of the ABC. Where did it go? Oh, 1,000.
Okay.
And y'all asked for another 1,000 again for a budget for newspapers and periodicals.
Okay.
Mhm.
Y'all have any questions for me?
The one thing, because I'm over there, I was talking to Miss Green, and I think she was telling me where, I know it's picking back up now, but COVID really cost in terms of people coming in and the revenue. And but hopefully that is, we're going back in the right direction. We just get folks to get the vaccination. That will.
Oh, I know. Well, we were down $90,000 from COVID because the gift shop was just, we didn't do anything there, and with our admissions. But it is picking back up, fortunately.
Anybody have any questions?
Well, I certainly appreciate all the time y'all put in and what you do for our town.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's looking good. Getting new things in and just filling up those storefronts. It's great.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I agree with you. I'm glad we got another restaurant downtown.
It just causes extra, excitement.
The more things we can do center around the square, the better off we're going to be.
I think so. Well, we're going to keep you all posted on all the plans for the literary festival. It's a 2-day event. It's Friday and Saturday, the 4th and 5th of March. But we want to have people just milling everywhere and just have it to be an extraordinary event. So we'll be keeping y'all informed on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You all have a
Yeah,
good
good day.
weekend. Thank you.
We have the animal shelter. I don't know.
God bless that.
We can call out there and see. I'll call out there and see if the animal shelter comes. Yeah, Tricia always calls. Tricia comes every year.
Man, Tracy think I'm gonna go out this thing in Alabama Southern and like, I gotta give you a start of the, on one of these yards for my dad.
Yeah, y'all.
The time they could have won a win, bro.
Y'all been something gonna better here than I've been in. Woo. Well, when you get in there, boy, all they do is they give you a day to show up. They don't give you time, because you don't know how long one gonna take. Mhm. You know, the whole legislature, then they do it in committee, though. But you can go in there and get bogged down and run the committee for.
Get to arguing about something.
Oh, yeah, they go through there and they start firing questions off at you that you never even thought of and conceived. And I found out the best thing to do is to be honest with them and tell them, I don't have an answer, but I'll give them a call. Because I know I went over there one year, and had specific instructions from the governor what to ask for. And I put that out there, boy, and I had a couple of them jump on me. And I just said, well, the priority is being able to provide this thing to this service to the public. And I agree with you, hiring troopers is one of the priorities, but this is also a top priority because we got backlogs over there. We got positions that need to be filled there, and now people having to wait on the claims reports and stuff, file insurance, to get the driving records and all this, and it's just all backlog. So, you know, I agree with you. We need to have troopers, we need to fill these positions too. Yeah. See, the thing about legislation, you can go in there, it's really true, everything is done in the back office. There ain't nothing to show out there. You know, and when you get back there with them, boy, you have to be so careful with them because they promise you that they'll do these things. And the trick is there's a committee that determines what goes to the floor. And you have to, if you don't have a connection with that committee, that bill comes back.
Yeah.
They'll never bring it to the floor. You see, it's just like they go back and say up there and in DC, they tell you that simple arithmetic. If you want to pass, you gotta count the votes. See if you guys can do it.
Maybe we get this COVID thing situated and really bring some life back downtown with these little festivals, shops and different things like that.
See, that's the thing. You gotta have something to do on Saturday. The day that they did Juneteenth, you know.
That was nice.
It was nice. So I had a group of ladies want to talk to me about doing something downtown. And this is the thing that people got to understand. Government can't do everything for you. You know, so if you talking about wanting to do something, you know, downtown to attract folks in, and like I told her, I said, you know, you got fraternities and royalties and stuff like that that can go back and you can partner up with businesses like if they got 4 restaurants, they're gonna be open on Saturday afternoon. Then you know you can work together and like that one-man band with it. And see, you can have vendors that stuff around the square. Is they give lit and sell beer or wine or something like that. We can push no hard liquor, but beer or wine, and do something like that. And you can let people bring a lawn chair and sell them like in the amphitheater.
We didn't get an answer from the animal shelter, so, but we called Miss Becky, we're trying to get hold of her, see if she knows. Michael Lambert sent me an email, and this was the ad that went in the Great Outdoor magazine that he did.
Okay.
And the city, we appropriate that for that advertisement. He didn't know if we need to change the ad, or were y'all fine with that ad?
What do y'all think?
I had that in the email, so I was gonna ask.
It's that free publication that they give out every year.
Oh, that's the lake, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Weren't you in that last year, Mr. Charles?
I think so.
It's a magazine. or something, or
Yeah, it's a
newspaper?
great outdoor. I know Miss Sandy.
Oh, the
started
great
it.
outdoor.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, really?
booklet that they
Yeah.
get and it talks about,
It was nice. It's a nice.
I know they have one about somebody with turkey hunting, bass fishing. I know,
Yeah,
Billy
Charles was
Wayne was
in
at
it with
one
the
year.
turkey hunt.
Yeah, the turkey
Mhm.
and then the deer hunting.
Yeah.
They try to do that every year, get that out there. So, okay. Well, I'll let him know.
What you gonna put in this?
Well, this is our ad.
Oh, okay, you know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet. But, that's one of the things that I want to do, to go through and talk about the fishing. I want to find somebody where we can do a grant and build a pier on the lake out there. You don't want to put those fingers back in it, because that's one of the things that caused all that settlement and everything, because you didn't have a current flow. As long as current flowing, it'll wash all that additional out.
Mhm.
And so we did have a current flow, but, maybe the Department of Conservation, they can give us a grant and we can actually build a pier. You can go out there and fish off the pier.
And then put that, we had some like a few come in here, had that, they didn't put that back. It wasn't a field like that.
It was them things.
That's fingerling.
Oh, there you go,
Yeah.
fingers, okay.
To see what happened with one of the things, with a couple of things that happened. The Feldman Pond up there, it had been neglected for so long that then all that sediment started washing into the lake. See, that was a big lake up there somewhere that broke, the dam broke off. Does that go there north of South Mount Pleasant? And the dam broke, all that water came down. And, it should have been caught in the settlement pond. But settlement pond was gone, it was trees in the settlement pond. So we got that cleaned out. See, that's where that minute X will come in. Because Mike can take that and go up there and keep all that stuff dug out. Man, he had truckloads of sand.
No, I think that'd be a great investment,
Oh, yeah.
because he done so good over on Ivy Street with that thing, how he got in there and cleaned it up, because he was dangerous to go in there with people.
And see, when you go back and look at it, see, it's three attachments he was gonna buy. One of them is a 24-inch bucket thing. I think the one that comes on there. And then he was gonna get the cutter attachment, where he can go back out. If you notice from the street right away, if you go down, you see how all that stuff rolled up to you. You take that minute and clean all that up.
It'll pay for itself.
That's why it grabbed my stumps and everything.
You can get attached.
You can attach it, because you think about the cost of renting one every time you need one, you might as well go ahead and invest in one whenever you need it, it'll pay off.
What was the appropriation to the animal shelter?
Under animal control. It's 40,000. And then I know they asked for some money out of the ABC also. They asked for 8,000.
ABC?
Uh-huh.
I had a chance, I went by and I visited the animal shelter. And one of the problems they have is like the baits and stuff in there.
How many employees work there?
There's one full-time, Trisha's full-time, and then Miss Becky, with what we pay her, if she's not doing anything, she's allowed to go out there and help them. So we have that, the animal control. And then I think she only has 2 part-timers. I want to say 2.
The one went out there, they have a problem on the inside, the gate, the pins that hold the animals, they're all rusted out and everything. And, they're, well, I thought, I don't know what they're saying now, that they were working on some patching. And I don't know how y'all feel, if this is in the process, so I'd like to have another $1,000 And then for them to go through and do those repairs,
In the general fund or just the ABC?
ABC.
Okay. I know last year, I think the ABC, she asked for, the 8,000 was for, well, the shed and then also medicine. Cause she says that like they have to, if a dog comes in with parvo, she has to start that. She has to make sure they're all clean before they get adopted out.
Right.
And then
And that's
also,
expensive.
yeah. And then there's also the adoption fees and just in general, when dogs come in hurt, they have to send them to a vet.
Yeah, if she comes in, she might can tell me if they made any of those repairs, since I was down there. But man, I'm talking about they was going in and they were patching the gates, so they rushed it out. To make it work.
Board members, and that's a lady.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got somebody.
What did you say?
Board member.
Cause Miss Coxwell, I think, didn't we appoint her and she has left and I don't know if we've appointed anybody else.
Somebody take up later. I think that's what.
Everybody got any suggestions? Or does she have a suggestion?
She had somebody all the time.
Uh, And Natalie was trying to hire me last night because we had some of our friends and I was explaining the menu to them and she was like, you should just work here, man. I was like, well, I've had everything on the menu pretty much.
Got my jacket.
I'm glad you stay cold. No.
So what?
I'm like you, I have hot flashes, but it doesn't help when my blood pressure's not giving me fits right now. So I'll be sitting here, I'll be fine, and the next thing I'm like burning up.
Well, that's what happened to my wife. She was taking that medicine for hot flashes and she had a severe allergic reaction to it.
Ugh.
And her tongue swelled up so big that they had to intubate her. And she stayed on the vent for about 4 or 5 days down there in Monroeville.
Ugh.
They caught it just in time.
Mm. Oh, Lord.
Our house feels like a cooler. Because I don't want to take no medicine. So I just turn it down as low as I can get it. And it doesn't bother. So I walk around with long sleeves on in the house. Yeah, I think I've had it with meetings for the week. I think I'm done. No, I'm awake. Because you gotta have at least 3. But that's the last lady that we're waiting on, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her on me.
Yeah, she's not answering my messages, so I don't think she's.
We have 2 more minutes. Ain't nobody there then. I think we
2 more minutes.
I got 4:45.
I got 4:45.
I got 4:44.
Oh.
Splitting hairs.
Yeah, but anybody that didn't show up, I can contact them and see if they can just get us a letter at least. Or if they can come during a work session. Let them talk to us for a little while.
Legislature never let you come back.
Uh-huh.
Y'all gracious.
Probably not.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are nice, boy. Hey,
If you
Andy.
wanna talk to me.
Thank you, Lisa.
Y'all have a good afternoon.
Okay,
All right.
Stan.